Philadelphia Phillies baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
At the start of this homestand, the Phils and their fans pointed to this 10-game homestand as a possible turnaround. It began nicely for the Phils when Marco Scudero's throw was in time, but Todd Helton missed the bag. Polanco was safe at first, and the Phillies had won the series against the Colorado Rockies. There were some hiccups, though. Vance Worley gives up this home run to Chris Nelson that gave the Rockies the victory. The Phillies actually could have swept out Colorado. Second series, it started out well after a rainout on Friday. Jim Thome wins Saturday's ball game with an opposite field pinch hit home run. Elation here at Citizens Bank Park. But then on Sunday, things change. Phil's up 1-0. Antonio Bastardo gives up this bomb to Carlos Pena. The bullpen has had its woes this year, and that was one of them. The Rays were able to take the 2 games on Sunday. Last night, the Phils had won the first 2 games of the series. Chase Utley returns from the DL. How about that return? A home run in his first at-bat. He finished with 3 hits, but Michael McHenry, who's been a huge story for the Pirates, subtly first in this series, but yesterday he erupted. That 3-run home run gave the Pirates the lead for good. They went on to win it 11-7, and now the finale of this homestand of this 4-game series as the Phils and the Pirates get together with some day baseball here at Citizens Bank Park. And some news right out of the chute. The Phils have made some roster moves. They've designated Chad Qualls for assignment. Last night, they optioned Joe Savory to Lehigh Valley, Brian Sanchez, and Jeremy Horst, who they got in the Wilson Valdez trade with the Reds. They're both here in Philadelphia. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Chris Wheeler. A lot happening on this homestand. A lot has happened just in the last 24 hours here in Philadelphia. We'll talk more about those roster moves during today's telecast. One thing, though, as the Phils go for the series victory today that they need to do, they need to deal with Michael McHenry.
Guy's been really good. If Rod Barajas hadn't gotten hurt early in the first game, who knows how much he would have even played in this series. But he has really done a very good job. He had a home run knocked down by the wind. Then he hits this home run the other night to cut the lead to 3-2. The home run off Jonathan Papelbon. Pap would eventually close it out. There's A.J. Burnett will pitch here today. And then he shot a hose on the whole proceedings here last night. This place was rocking after that first inning. And then 3-2 count with a pitcher on deck and 2 outs. A real no-no. A home run ball right there. And then he gets another big hit later on this ball off the glove of Mike Fontenot. So Michael McHenry, who really wasn't even going to play a whole lot, has done a heck of a job in this series throwing out Juan Pierre there, trying to steal a bag. As they say, the tag was on his arm and he's out at second base. So a guy that was with Clint Hurdle in the Colorado organization over here now with the Pirates and doing a really, really nice job. You see what he had done before this series? Well, 7 for 11 in this series. They really had a lot of trouble trying to get him out, and hopefully they can get him out here a little bit better this afternoon.
Yeah, Clint Hurdle said before the ball game today, he said sometimes it takes a little while for swings to click for Major League players, and he said he thinks Michael McHenry's swing is clicking right now, at least during this series against the Phillies. So it is the final game of this homestand for the Phils. Kyle Kendrick on the mound for the Phils. A.J. Burnett will make the start for the Pirates. The lineups and first pitch at Citizens Bank Park when we return. off the base paths. Let's take a look at the Pirates starting lineup for this afternoon's ball game. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off in left field, Drew Sutton. Neil Walker bats second. Andrew McCutchen third. Then Garrett Jones in right field bats cleanup. Casey McGee, the first baseman, hits fifth. Pedro Alvarez sixth. Clint Barbas is over at shortstop. He'll bat seventh. Michael McHenry will hit eighth. And batting ninth and pitching is right-hander A.J. Burnett. And they're facing Kyle Kendrick, who is 2-7 this year. An ERA of 5.24. 80 hits in 67 innings. And talking to Kyle yesterday, Wheels, he said he has to be more aggressive in the strike zone today. He said that's just been his biggest issue so far in the month of June.
Right, that's what we're going to talk about in the scouting report there for him. But he's been picking too much lately, and all of a sudden he's 2-0, 3-1 on everybody. And you know, Kyle, he can pitch and pitch well for you, but he does not have put away stuff. Most guys don't when they fall behind in the count. He certainly doesn't.
Well, he'll face Drew Sutton, Neil Walker, Andrew McCutchen to start the ball game for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Well, the Phillies, a win today can make this a 6-4 homestand, which would look so much better than 5-5. They begin play today tied with the Marlins for last place in the East in fourth place. The Marlins are off today. The Nationals will play later on, and the first pitch of the day is in there for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Phillies, of course, are headed for Miami after the game today to play those guys, and then New York a few, 3, and then Atlanta as they go for a base hit right there off his glove to the All-Star break.
Well, he got the ground ball, wasn't hit that hard, and because of it, once it went off his glove, there was no chance for Polanco or Rollins to make the play. So Sutton's aboard, and Neil Walker is the hitter. Clint Hurdle has adjusted his lineup today to put a couple more lefties in there. He doesn't really have a whole lot of lefties to make sure that they're in the lineup, although he could have started Alex Presley today in left field, but instead started the switch hitting Drew Sutton,
who is now 4 for 4 left-handed since they got him here.
First pitch to Wilson is taken down low, or Walker I should say. Walker had a good night last night. There's Clint talking today about some of his players, including Jose Tabata, and how he's just not playing as crisp or as consistent as he played last year. One of the reasons why he's not in the starting lineup today.
And he means that defensively too.
Yeah.
When you say crisp and consistently, because Tabata has not been good defensively in this series.
See Walker's numbers in 26 at bats when he's ahead 2-0, which he is in this spot. He was 2 for 5 in last night's ball game.
It's amazing when you break something like down. See what a guy is, 2-0 or 0-2. It's just incredible how much better hitter you are when you're ahead in count.
It's just off the outer edge, and it's 3-0. Kyle, at his last outing, went 4 innings against the Rays, allowed 3 runs, 2 earns, walked 3, struck out 6. Phillies wound up winning that ball game 7-6 on the home run by Jim Thome. And there's ball 4. So Walker's aboard. Runners on first and second here at the top of the first.
Time now for our Nissan Keys to this afternoon's game. As Tom mentioned, have a chance to win the series, have a good homestand, and they're going to have to really earn it today because they're going to battle a tough pitcher in A.J. Burnett, who's been up and down throughout his career, on a really good run right now. And when he's on, he can really be tough because the guy's very competitive.
Well, the Phillies are hoping he doesn't have a lead when they bat in the bottom of the first. Here's Andrew McCutchen. Hit his 14th home run last night. He's hit in 3 consecutive ball games for the Pirates. And he takes high 1-0. It's a big play last night. The fact that he was able to extend this lead for the Pirates.
Yeah. Pitches up and out, up in the zone, and up and away to right center field. And that was one of the last pitches Chad Quall threw for the Phillies.
Yeah, Chad Qualls was designated for assignment today, which means that there are 10 days in which he has to accept an assignment to AAA. There's Brad Lincoln, who came in last night and did a phenomenal job.
He saved the game for them.
And that led to then Qualls allowing the 3 runs in the top of the 8th inning.
Yeah, Pence had a tough at bat. He probably had walked him, but
2-0 the count now to McCutcheon.
The body language out there right now already with the fielders. You know, hands on their hips. Jimmy Rollins there with his legs spread at shortstop, kind of slumped over, and that's what happens when you pitch behind.
Well, they got McCutcheon to pop out to right field on this one. Sutton tags from second. The throw goes to second. So one away. They get a tough hitter out. First and third. Now that'll bring Garrett Jones to the plate.
What's going to happen in this inning, but to get him to swing, there's Chase Utley, who's not going to start. He, of course, could pinch hit or even play in the game later. For them to get him out when he's ahead in the count with a fly ball to right, fly ball to left would have been perfect because then there's no advance. Right. But that's option 2 that helped the Phillies.
And now option 3 is to maybe get Garrett Jones to hit into a double play.
Oh, sweet.
He does not run all that well. So a ball at Fontenot or Rollins could produce that double play.
Right. They'll play him up the middle, probably pitch him with sinkers, try and get him to roll one over.
Jones did not play in last night's ball game, and he lines one to right field, a base hit, and the Pirates will take the lead. So an RBI single for Garrett Jones, his 28th of the year. It's 1-0 Pirates here at the top of the first. Well, Garrett Jones didn't wait long at all to go after the first pitch that he liked.
No, that's what you like to see your guys do in RBI situations. They get a strike and hammer it. They're trying to go for that sinker we talked about down and away to have him maybe roll it over into that area. But he just smoked the line drive because it was up.
Well, still one man down. Casey McGee is the hitter. McGee is 2 for 9 in the series. He hit a home run last night to straightaway center field. And he takes the first pitch for a strike. It's 0-1. Some cheers for Kyle Kendrick. A little tongue-in-cheek cheer.
Yeah, getting ahead of a hitter.
Trying to minimize the damage here with one out. Kratz throws behind the runner at first, and Jones gets back. It's 0-2 now to McGee. Here, Kratz playing behind the plate today. Carlos Ruiz getting the day off to start. There's Carlos, the game's leading hitter. Not just this game's, but Major League Baseball's leading hitter. A cutter outside, 1-2.
You have Utley and Ruiz on the bench today. Helps your bench a little bit.
And Ed Tomey there too.
And Tomey for late in the game.
In the air to left field. Juan Pierre goes back a couple steps, and that one is deep into the seats. A 3-run home run, and just like that, it's 4-0 Pittsburgh. 5th home run of the year for Casey McGee. It's the 9th allowed by Kyle. And right out of the chute, an awfully big hole for the Phils here in the first.
Yeah, against A.J. Burnett. But, you know, he's been struggling. High sinker. No doubt about it.
Folks have barely settled into their seats, and it's already 4-0. Well, that'll bring Pedro Alvarez to the plate with the bases empty here at the top of the first.
And they had a bullpen-only game from the start last night. They certainly don't need a starter to go quickly today.
Well, Brian Sanchez and Jeremy Horst are both here. And odds are they're available to pitch if needed. But still, as Will said, they went into their pen to start the game and early in the game.
See Charlie just walking around. It's just so frustrating because, you know, you see his reaction. You look out in the field, and the body language is just awful out in the defensive right now because they all have their heads down already. It's a tough hole to dig out of. It's only the first inning, but, you know, that's a body blow right out of the chute.
Alvarez fouls it off the mask of Kratz, and it's 1-2.
It's not like he's not trying out there. Kyle works hard. He works hard at his profession. He tries to do the best he can, but he's really scuffling right now, falling behind hitters and leaving pitches up, or then walking guys.
You don't often see Charlie standing in that spot in the dugout.
No, he's a little fried right now.
A little topper foul.
And it's not the weather.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous day.
It's hot.
Yep, there he is.
And he's hot.
Sometimes he'll move around just to, in his eyes, change the luck.
Sometimes.
Down the right field line. It's hooking toward the corner, and it is gone. Into the first row. It's 5-0 Pittsburgh. That's the second home run for the Pirates. They've gone back to back here in the first. And it's number 14 for Alvarez. You want to talk about a buggy whip. Rick Stubbe going out to the mound. Eric Kratz is just staying behind the plate. Now he'll go out there.
It's a changeup and a line drive. And, well, this will be interesting. Look at that. Oh, it was over the whole time. So rattling around out there. Thought maybe it hit the top and bounced over, but it was a home run.
I think it hit an empty seat. There was an empty seat that's sitting right there over the right field fence.
Yeah, that was a home run over the fence from the beginning. Great camera angle.
It's the third time this year they've gone back to back, the Pirates. But it's been nearly a month since the last time. Well, Clint Hurdle's team out of the chute has scored 5 runs here in the top of the first. And Clint Barmas the batter, and he takes low. It's 1-0. One ball, one strike to count. That's at the knees. A strike, 1-2. A fastball at 89. Pirates have a lot of home runs on the road this year. They're among the league leaders. A swing and a miss at a slider. First strikeout for Kendrick. Second out.
See Clint Hurdle. There's Alvarez who just hit the home run. He's been a little bit hot. He's either hits a home run, it seems like, or a ball hard, or he strikes out. He doesn't have a middle ground in this series. But seeing that shot at Clint there in the dugout, that's a manager standing there thinking, well, I really like the way this one's starting, but there's a long way to go. I like my pitcher. I like this matchup today. But that team came back at me last night, so we'll see what happens.
Michael McHenry, the hitter. And McHenry takes a strike.
Too early to spike it.
Clint talked before the ball game about McHenry and the fact that he's gotten a chance to play. Look at his numbers in the series since taking over for Barajas. It's that one to left. It's playable for Pierre, who puts it away, and the inning finally comes to a close. But the damage is done on a couple different fronts. A 3-run home run by Casey McGee. This was a blast. It was his second home run of the series. And then a solo shot by Pedro Alvarez. He got a pitch that was up, and he hooked it right down the right field line. It's 5-0 Pirates as we go to the bottom of the first. nothing. So let's see what they have in store for A.J. Burnett. Let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Leading it off at shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. Juan Pierre bats second. Shane Victorino hits third. Hunter Pence is the cleanup batter. He's in right field. Placido Polanco, the third baseman, bats fifth. Ty Wigginton will hit sixth today. Mike Fontenot will bat seventh. Hitting eighth and catching is Eric Kratz. And on the mound is Kyle Kendrick, and they'll face 35-year-old right-hander A.J. Burnett, who hails from the state of Maryland, born in North Little Rock, Arkansas. 8-2 this year, 3.24 earned run average. We didn't see him the last time the Phillies faced the Pirates because he was on the disabled list because of a cracked orbital bone.
Yeah, he would have been their opening day pitcher. As you look at the scouting report on him, you're going to see mostly fastball, curveball from A.J. Burnett. His lifetime numbers against the Phillies, most of that, of course, was built up when he was with the Marlins. The Phillies did see him in the World Series with the Yankees and in a regular season game with New York Yankees. But they're familiar with him. A couple guys used to be teammates. Or not, no, I mean, when Pierre comes up.
Jimmy Rollins takes a strike to start the at-bat. It's 0-1. Burnett has won 7 consecutive games and now facing one of the hottest hitters in the National League in Rollins, whose average is a .269. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. He hit that one hard.
What they need desperately right now is to come out and have something positive happen offensively here in the first inning. If they go down 1-2-3, you know, then it's a tough day after the way you just got hit with a 5 spot. You do something right now, hit some balls hard, make something happen. All of a sudden you go, all right, you know, we got a shot at him.
And a swing and a miss at a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, one away here in the first.
Looking at the breakdowns on him, on Burnett, he's almost exclusively fastball, curveball right now with an occasional changeup. Fastball averaging 92, and will throw as high as 95 when you fire that 4-seamer up there like that.
First Pirate pitcher to win 7 straight since Doc Ellis back in '74. And Ellis won 8 in a row. Juan Pierre's the batter. He's a .315 hitter on the season with a home run and 6 runs batted in. And he takes a fastball for a strike on the inside corner.
A.J. Burnett, you know, he just really struggled for the most part up in New York. I don't think he ever really adjusted to that. This is a much better market for him to work in.
Well, less pressure is what you're saying.
Exactly.
He was 34 and 35 for the Yankees. Let's face it, though, in the World Series against the Phillies, his effort in Game 2 reestablished the series for the Yankees. He didn't pitch well later on.
Yeah, he had a good game and a bad game in the World Series.
Pierre lifts it toward the left field line. Drew Sutton makes the catch for the second out. During the 2012 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. Here's Victorino up to the 3-hole in today's game. Chase Utley the day off to start. He'll play tomorrow in Miami against the Marlins. Not a bad homestand for Shane. 8 for 29. Takes high, 1-0. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Ray Blackwell of Newark, Delaware. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, and Ray will win $100. Chase won somebody some money last night. Aurora won money right out of the chute. Off the hands, a looper to right, going out is Walker, and it drops in front of Jones, gets away from Jones, and Victorino will go to second. So it'll be a single and an error on Garrett Jones. That's his second error of the year.
And just sloppy by the Pirates there. You know, with 2 outs, nobody on base. Victorino's very content with a single right there. See, Shane's been on base 21 straight games, best current streak. just shoots his parachute out there. Now Jones takes his eye off it for a split second, and then it hits, and it doesn't bounce up at all, and he just lets it get by him. And Shane had already stopped at first and then just picked it up right here. He thinks he's going to get a little bigger hop. That's a good.
So a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Pence will be the batter. Pence 13 homers, 44 runs batted in. Give the Phils a chance to get a run back here.
That's what I mean. You know, if they could somehow do something here in this inning, and right now it would be because of a mistake possibly.
Outside and low, 1-0, 96 for Burnett.
Burnett has had games, and we've seen so much over the years. You can tell when he's not happy. He wears his emotions on his sleeve.
They have raved about his presence, though, on this roster.
Well, you know what? He's at that point in his life and career where you think he should be able to help younger players, because he's been through the ups and downs. He knows what it's like when you go out there and get fried on the mound and beat yourself, and he should be able to help people with that. Because we saw him do it a few nights.
Pence tops it back to the box, and A.J. Burnett will throw him out. So the Phils threaten but do not score here in the first. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. There was 1 Pirate error. Top of the second we go. Pirates up 5-0. You can help send Carlos Ruiz and the rest of the Phils to this year's All-Star game at Kansas City by going to Phillies.com. Vote up to 25 times. Now voting ends today at 11:59 Eastern time, so keep on voting. A.J. Burnett leads it off here in the second, and the count is 0-2. Burnett, 053 hitter. He has wheels 1 hit in 19 at bats this year.
Never been a good hitter.
You don't think?
No.
Swing and a miss at a slider. Second strikeout for Kendrick.
Not like we're seeing the guy for the first time, huh? Good pitcher. That's probably one thing he didn't mind about the American League.
Drew Sutton reached on a single off the glove of Kendrick to start this ball game. And the first pitch in this at bat runs low, 1-0. Sutton was a .271 hitter in limited time with the Rays. He has 4 hits and 6 at bats for the Pirates in this series.
Yeah, they're all left-handed.
He hasn't played a whole lot of outfield in his career, but he's played 2 games so far in this series. Fly ball, shallow left center field. And there are 2 outs. Mentioned before, the Phillies have made a couple of roster moves today. They included in that, they designated Chad Qualls for assignment. And Joe Savory last night was optioned out to Lehigh Valley. And yeah, Murph, we want to hear you on this one. What do you got to say about those 2 moves?
I was hoping you'd ask that question, Tom. Well, Charlie talked a little bit about it last night. He said, they need to obviously improve the bullpen. They are well aware of that in the front office. Charlie's well aware of that, and the team is too. And he said, right now it's been a little bit difficult because a lot of teams don't have a whole lot of depth right now, and a lot of teams also believe with that extra wild card that they're still in it. So there's not a lot of sellers out there, and Ruben Amaro expanded on that a little bit today, saying a similar thing, saying that there are so many teams right now that feel like they can compete because of this extra wild card. And he said, look, we feel the same way. We certainly don't feel like we're out of it. So everybody's kind of looking for the same thing, but Ruben Amaro Jr. and his staff are doing their due diligence and trying to find some arms that may be out there. But right now they've got 2 new arms out there in the bullpen, and they're hoping those guys, the young guys, can get the job done.
Yeah, and it is true. I mean, Charlie's been saying for the last week or two that if he had his druthers, he would want to have a couple of other guys in that bullpen. But for now, Jeremy Horst, who you just saw, and there's Brian Sanchez, they've been called up to be the next contestants, I guess you would say, out of that Phillies bullpen. Brian's been here before. This is the first time that Jeremy Horst has been up here.
Yeah, and guys, it's an opportunity. Wheels, you could probably speak to this. It's an opportunity for these young guys if you're in the Phillies system. And Ruben talked about, there are a couple other options that they have down there that may get a chance to pitch. And, it's incumbent upon these guys that have been working their entire career to get to this point, get a chance to make a difference. Well, here's a bullpen that needs an extra arm or 2, and they've got a chance to make a difference.
Great point, Murph. And a lot of times when they'll call down to AAA, they'll say, well, who's pitching well?
Yeah.
And then they'll use that as a barometer to, okay, well, we'll bring that guy up. So if you can impress the people on your team at that level, then they can help you get to the big leagues a little bit.
And the good thing too about Jeremy Horst, yes, he's a left-hander, but he's not just a left-handed specialist. He's got a good slider and a good change. The slider can get the lefties out, but the change can also help against right-handers.
Yeah, you were telling me that his breakdown, and he has better luck against right-handers than left-handers. The first thing you say is, okay, what's his changeup? And we'll find out whether it's a changeup or a split or a trick pitch of some kind.
Andrew McCutcheon's the hitter with a runner at first, and McCutcheon fouls the first pitch back into the seats. It's 0-1. He flied out to right his first time up. He's 0 for 1. 5-0 Pirates on top here in the second, just underway. The Pirates, they erupted for those 5 runs in the first. A 3-run home run by McGee and a solo shot by Pedro Alvarez.
Yeah, they even got McCutcheon out and still threw a 5 spot up.
Upstairs with a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 0-2.
McCutcheon's up there with 2 on and nobody out, and you're thinking, maybe it won't be so bad. He just hit a fly ball to right field. It got bad.
Liner foul and out of play. Good catch by that fan who brought his glove to the game.
I think we're watching McCutcheon, the way he's evolved as a player. He hits the ball deep in the zone now. He's not afraid. You can tell he's not afraid to really let the ball get into the zone before he swings, because he's so quick and he doesn't get out front much.
And there he watched that the whole way through, the changeup.
A lot of guys that get out front and hook a lot of balls foul, those are ooh-ah balls for the most part, and they don't mean anything. All it means is your timing's off. And watching him in this series, he does not do much of that.
Try to get the cutter on the inside part of the plate. And it's even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. McCutchen kind of gave up on it, but it just didn't come back enough.
Yeah, and that's the kind of pitch I'm talking about, that if you're anxious and you're out front, you hook that ball foul. And it looks good because he hits it real hard, but it doesn't mean anything.
Runner goes, pitches swatted foul, as Wheels just mentioned.
Yeah.
And it remains 2-2.
Well, he threw him something there that was middle in and slow. Probably it was a changeup, and that's why he hooked that one foul. That one is tough, even if you're letting the ball get deep in the zone. You get anxious sometimes on a two-strike changeup like that, and there's a ball he hooks foul.
Backswing got Eric Kratz in the leg. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count to McCutchen. Swing and a miss. Actually may have gotten a piece of it, but Kratz held on. 3rd strikeout for Kendrick. No runs, 1 hit. 1 man left for the Pirates. Middle of the 2nd. It's the Pirates 5 and the Phillies nothing. To your smartphone. Download the free CSN Sports app now. 5-0 Pirates on top as we move to the bottom of the 2nd. Placido Polanco, Ty Wigginton, Mike Fontenot. 5, 6, and 7 for the Phils. Try to get something rolling against AJ Burnett. Phillies did get a hit in the 1st, but they left Victorino over at 2nd. And Polanco, who's reached base safely in 10 of his last 15 plate appearances. Pretty good homestand, 8 for 25. Ground ball to shortstop. Clint Barmas in a few steps. 6-3 on the putout. And Ty Wigginton is up. The last series before the All-Star break is the Phils against the Atlanta Braves. First time this year the Braves have ventured into Philadelphia. There are seats still available for all 3 of those ball games. 2 night games and a day game. Sunday the 8th is a 1:35 start. You can purchase your tickets now or anytime, 24/7. By going to Phillies.com. Wigginton in 9 games on this homestand has 4 runs batted in. Hit a home run a couple of nights ago. Pretty good shot that helped the Phils to the victory over the Pirates. One ball, 1 strike the count to Wigginton.
A lot of fastballs from AJ Burnett, and why not with a 5-0 lead?
I guess his thought is, I'll throw them until they start catching up to it.
Well, he's throwing in good spots. He's throwing 2-seam and 4-seam and a lot of strikes, and they're good strikes. They're not in the middle of the plate. He'll throw a hook sooner or later and try and embarrass somebody. Well, he didn't do it.
Wigginton is aboard. It's the second hit for the Phillies. A one-out single.
There's another fastball.
That'll bring Mike Fontenot to the plate. Fontenot, a .323 hitter with a home run and 5 runs batted in. He's never faced A.J. Burnett. I guess he's going to figure the same thing that Wigginton did, is that he's going to get a fastball, at least for the first couple of pitches. And he does on the first one. It's low, 1-0.
High percentage of fastball so far in his 19 pitches. Now, he may start to mix them up a little bit, but he has a 5-0 lead. He's at the bottom of the order, and he likes his fastball. He probably got too much of the plate with 2 strikes there. And Wigginton, if you're a hitter in that spot, you're defensive anyway, and he was able to put some good wood on it.
There's a liner to center. It's going to hang up for McCutchen. Fontenot hit it well, but right at Andrew McCutchen. So 2 outs. I think that Burnett, the Phil's down 5. That once he flips this lineup over, he may start tinkering a little bit just to get them off the fastball.
Yeah, he may. And normally you're not just going to go out and keep throwing as many fastballs as he is, but he's very successful with it right now, and they haven't done anything to make him change.
Erik Kratz has 1 hit this year. It was a home run. It was his first major league home run.
But right now he is a 2-pitch pitcher, is A.J. Burnett. According to the breakdowns on him, he does use a changeup, but rarely. And he goes for strikeouts with curveballs. He hasn't gotten to the point, where he's that's the point I was trying to make with Wigginton, that he might throw one there, because that's his strikeout pitch.
Which we know all too well from the World Series.
Oh, yeah. He's got good curveball.
And he threw it often in that World Series in Game 2. It's funny, going into that series, I remember once the Phillies won Game 1 against Sabathia with Cliff Lee on the mound, there was some thought, well, the way the Yankees 3-man rotation was broken up, that Burnett was starting Game 2, that the Phillies had a pretty good chance of going up 2-0 in that series, but he really mesmerized them.
There's a curveball, and you saw the breakdown on right there where the hitters hit off his curveball. 129. Yeah, and then they came out in the, what was it, 5th game? And they hit him pretty hard. Yeah, it was here. It was the last game here, and they hit him hard, and then of course the Yankees won the 6th game behind Andy Pettitte.
Oh, 0-2 the count to Kratz. To left center field. That's pretty well hit. McCutchen going back, and that one is gone! Right into the first row. Erik Kratz has 2 hits this year in the big leagues, and both of those hits are home runs to center field. And the Phillies are on the board. It's now a 5-2 ball game.
That's a big league home run he hit right there. I thought it was a double when he hit it. Figured with that high wall and the fence out there in that area, it was going to hit the wall, come back, and they'd get 1 out of it. But it just kept going. See how much it cleared, but it's another fastball after a curveball that kind of fooled him. First row. Front row seats catch the home run balls.
That's right. Buy that ticket. They walk away with something.
They don't expect one out there, though, too often.
Well, here's Kendrick. It's kind of funny watching Kendrick take batting practice yesterday with the rest of the pitchers. I think we talked about this a little bit yesterday. He's 1 for 12 on the season. He had a pop-up. Literally, it was a pop-up, and the wind was blowing every which way yesterday. They carried it right out of the ballpark. And just joking with him, said, Kyle, did you hit that well? No. I mean, it carried. Just like Kratz's home run carried for Ray Blackwell of Newark, Delaware. who won $100 compliments of the McDonald's home run jackpot.
Well, get on the board, and it's only the second inning. And, you're going to make Burnett pitch a little bit now. Not to Kyle Kendrick, but, second time through the order. You can go throw fastballs at him, you would think.
Yeah, that was a two-seamer. Rich Doobie talking to Ruiz. So, Carlos, what do you think?
Rich Doobie had A.J. Burnett.
Kendrick hits it on one hop right at Walker, the second baseman. So the Phils settle for the 2 on the 2-run home run by Eric Kratz. So they're on the board. They've cut into this lead. That's a good sign. Eric Kratz is a strong man. And he just swatted this one into the first row just to the left of the 409 sign to make it a 5-2 ball game. Section for all the information, and we'll submit your answer on the subject line. The question is, name the Pirates closer that holds the single season team record for saves with 46.
What year?
I can't tell you that.
Thought I could get you to blurt it out.
No, I'm sharper than that, Wheels, although I almost did.
I thought I had you. That just seemed like a legitimate question, and you would follow up.
It's a very good question. I can follow up on it later on when I give you the hints. The 7 or 8 that you usually get for these answers.
You'd have given me the year. Would have really helped.
I don't think it would have.
Really?
No.
It's an obscure guy, huh?
It kind of is. When I tell you, when you hear the name, if you don't get it, you'll say, "Oh yeah."
They had a great relief pitcher back in the early '60s who won a lot of games for them by the name of Elroy Roy Face, and he had a forkball that he threw. He was a woodwork guy, carpenter. That's what he did as a living, because guys had to have jobs in those days. But boy, he was a good pitcher. But he didn't have a lot of saves then. The relievers wound up winning games
because they went in earlier in games. Garrett Jones singled home the first run for the Pirates. It's 5-2 as we begin the third. The count is 2 balls and no strikes to Jones.
Let's see if I got anything out of you when I said Elroy Face, because that's a guy you may not know. But I certainly
no, I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah,
I will tell you that's not the answer.
No, I don't think so. I think he had 19 wins one year. I have to look that up. That was back in the days when they had Bob Friend and Vernon Law, Bob Veal. They had some really good pitchers.
Kind of the same swing as the first time, but Pence will make the catch.
And he fooled him that time, though, with a changeup where he nailed a fastball his first time up.
So Kendrick gets the first out, and Casey McGee, who homered his first time up, will be the batter.
Desperately need from Kyle right now is to settle down and keep it where it is. And they've gotten a couple back, and there's a long way to go in this thing. You start giving up more runs, and all of a sudden the heads go down again. get a 2-run home run out of your 8-hole hitter with 2 outs. That's important.
Well, that's a pretty good swing right there to get if you're Kyle Kendrick. Ty Wigginton on the mound makes the catch. It was a little longer trek for Placido Polanco to go up and down the hill, and Wigginton just went up a step or 2 to make the catch.
Yeah, that mound can make for some embarrassments at any level on pop-ups sometimes. Anybody who ever played infield has tripped over a mound, I guarantee you. And that's a weird feeling. All of a sudden the elevation changes. You see, he stumbled a little bit, but not, thankfully not a lot. Well, you're looking up for a pop-up, and all of a sudden that mound appears. You can plant yourself.
I still think it's easier for Kyle Kendrick, who's a good athlete, to take 1 step to his left and maybe down another half step to make that catch.
But not in day games because he don't have any sunglasses.
He saw it though.
Yeah, well,
pointed straight up. Now he may have just been pointing straight up.
Yeah, his job is to direct traffic and get out of there.
Alvarez homered his first time up. Down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You're right, though. I mean, pitchers can catch pop-ups, but that's not their job.
It's literally 1 step to the left, right, and then a half a step back. Now, some guys can't, but I mean, Kyle's a really good athlete.
Mm-hmm. If he had to catch it, he could catch it.
Two and 1 the count to Alvarez. They've moved Rollins over to the right side of the infield for Alvarez. So 3 infielders on the right side. Kendrick behind in the count. The cutter gets to the outer edge. Comes back to the outer edge. 2 and 2. Put Barmes on deck. First guy's hat didn't work. Second guy's hat worked fine.
A little longer reach.
A lot of strikeouts for Alvarez, particularly when he's got the count to 2 strikes in some sort. Staying alive, shoots it foul over toward the sweet level.
Well, he's obviously when you play a defense like this, he's pull happy. And the way you get pull happy guys out are try and pitch them away with quality stuff. You see the overshift there, so they'll hook it, roll stuff over, or hit weak fly balls to left field.
There you go, right into the shift. Fontenot fell down to his knees, but is able to recover. A 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Kendrick. Maybe he is settled in. If he's settled in, maybe the offense will. When we come back for the bottom of the 3rd, the top of the order will lead it off. Toyota purchase comes with Toyota Care. By AT&T, rethink possible. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Play the new instant game for the Pennsylvania Lottery Black Tie. Must be 18 years or older to play. Please play responsibly. Home half of the third. It's a 5-2 Pirates lead. And we start the third with the top of the order. Jimmy Rollins, Juan Pierre, Shane Victorino.
If you look up Face, Elroy Face, he won 18 games in 1959 out of the bullpen. 18 wins.
He had over 100 wins as a relief pitcher.
Yeah.
He only made a couple starts.
And he threw a true forkball, or, you know, they call them more splitters now, but his was always called a forkball.
Wasn't a big guy either. He was 5'8".
Said he was a heck of a carpenter.
That man could build a shed with the best of them.
I remember hearing the stories about him, you know, how good he was with his hands. He had big old long fingers, you know, for a small guy, and that's why he could throw that forkball real well.
Rollins struck out his first time up. He saw an array of fastballs, which is basically what A.J. Burnett has thrown today. Oh, it won the count to Rollins. And he swats it foul, 0-2.
Well, to say he's thrown mostly fastballs an understatement. When this inning began, he'd thrown 29 pitches, 28 fastballs. I mean, some are four-seamers, as we mentioned, and some are, you know, two-seam sinkers.
That was his first changeup that he just threw, the one to Rollins.
And the curveball, I think, was the one he threw to Kratz right before the home run.
There's another curveball. Rollins out in front. Second time he struck out.
He's going to mix it up a little bit now because he gave up some runs.
2 strikeouts for Burnett.
There's that curveball. We talked about the high percentage of strikeouts he gets on curveballs. Well, there's one.
Pierre fly to left his first time up. 0 for 1 in this ball game. Burnett for his career is 129 and 113. His earned run average a little over 4. He spent 3 years with the Yankees, was 1 game under 500. 3 years with the Blue Jays, he was 12 over 500 at 38 and 26. It's been basically around a 500 pitcher for most of his career, but the 8-2 record here has really helped his overall mark. He's been given some big contracts during his life.
He's always been a strikeout pitcher, as you see there. Pitched a no-hitter. We walked 7 in that game.
Walked 7.
Yeah. Against
San Diego.
At San Diego. Battery wanted that one.
Three balls, 2 strikes the count. Over to first, a foul ball. Home plate umpire today is Brian Runge. If you went into the Pirates clubhouse today and wrote down the lineup, you would have seen the umpires listed on top. And you would not have seen Brian's name. You would have seen Paul Runge. So that leads you to believe that it was a veteran coach who filled out that lineup.
Yep.
Brian's dad, Paul, was an umpire. That one's back through the middle, and Pierre is aboard with a 1-out single.
As was his grandfather, Ed.
I thought it was funny, though, just to, you know, I don't know who did the lineup, whether it was Nick Leyva, whether it was Jeff Bannister. I don't know who it was.
I know I've called him Paul a few times.
So that'll bring Shane Victorino to the plate. Bruce Springsteen is coming to Philadelphia, which is not odd, but he's coming to Citizens Bank Park. 2 shows here at the ballpark, Sunday, September 2nd, Monday, September 3rd. Tickets remain for both shows. Go to ComcastTix.com or call 800-298-4200 to purchase your tickets. Quick throw over. Pierre's back without a tag.
Chip away a little bit, maybe get another one here. 5-3 after 3. Very manageable.
Well, Victorino singled his first time up. Another throw over.
16 out of 16 for A.J. Burnett. Against A.J. Burnett, that's not real good. That means if you run, you make it.
He's got that little twist more when he's pitching from the windup, but he has it when he's pitching from the stretch.
Well, I think probably they steal a lot on his curveball too.
That's true too.
His times.
There goes Pierre. Victorino shows bunt. The fastball is inside. The throw is high and away. And Pierre has stolen his 18th bag.
His times are not good to the plate, and that reason being what Tom's talking about is delivery to the plate. He also throws a lot of hooks, which makes it tough for his catcher. Pierre got a great jump here. He'd thrown over enough times that he felt comfortable that he saw his move and knew where to go on first movement, and did. That's as easy. We've seen him steal a bag all year.
Major League Baseball's active leader in stolen bases with 572.
Well, here you go now with a runner in scoring position. Keep chipping away.
Victorino tops it over to second. And Walker throws him out. Over to third goes Pierre.
He didn't give in fastball this at bat. That was a changeup.
That's his first time up. Hit one right back to the box, so he's 0 for 1. Runner over at third with 2 outs. And Hunter waves at the first pitch. It's 0 1.
Yeah, Burnett's totally off this fastball only game he was pitching. Started with a curveball there, got Victorino out on a changeup. Another one. And this one will either throw a high fastball or a chase curve probably.
Looks like they're setting up for a chase curve. And that's what it was.
Good block by McHenry on that. Because the odds are when you're going to throw that 2-strike curveball like that, you're going to throw it in the dirt. And you have to be ready to block it. Well, that was really a nice job. That's the way he did what he did with his glove, where he used his chest protector, deadened his body.
Oh man. I don't know about that being a strike, but Pence is down looking. Third strikeout for A.J. Burnett. The Phillies leave one over at third. They've left a couple in scoring position through the first 3. Now look at the replay. It wasn't a bad pitch. It was a pitcher's pitch, and it'll take us to the 4th. Buy right with WB Mason for the brands you want at prices you'll love. Like Avery weatherproof labels that stand up to the harshest conditions. From who? But WB Mason. Brian Sanchez doing a little stretching in the Phillies bullpen. He makes his return to Philadelphia. Pitched earlier this season for the Phils. And he's been added to the bullpen along with Jeremy Horst prior to the start of the ball game. Clint Barmes will lead it off for the Pirates against Kyle Kenrick, who after allowing 5 in the first has allowed 1 hit since. Said yesterday, Sarge, that he needs to be more aggressive in the strike zone. I don't think he was in the first inning, but he has been since.
Has been, and when you start nibbling and you're not aggressive, that's when you get into trouble.
He's got a lot of guys off balance with these swings. Placido Polanco calls off Rollins to make the catch, and it's 1 away. You know, I know it's hard to get into the head of Kyle Kendrick. You know, he and I were talking yesterday. I know you were talking to him yesterday too. And he said, I just need to be more aggressive in the strike zone. And I thought he would in that first inning, but he started falling behind early on, and it just seemed to be that sinker that was tailing off the outside part of the plate. You fall behind, you know, then the hitter, as you've always said, gets into a very comfortable spot.
Yeah, it gets a lot more aggressive, and when you're hearing that loud sound on the bat, that kind of makes you a little bit nervous in throwing your pitches where you need to. I mean, every one of his pitches that he throws should be setting it up for the next one. So therefore, if he throws one that's too high or too low, does nothing for the psyche of the hitter. He's got to be around that plate a little bit more ground balls. That's when he's at his game.
All right, now what, in your eyes, what does he adjust? What does he change? I mean, I know it's only 2 innings or 2 innings and then 1 out here in the 4th. What's he changed? Is there anything?
Well, I mean, that's hard. I mean, hard to say. I mean, you understand the changes come there when, you know, he's doing his session. That's when he's going to work on different things from the pitches. If he's not getting the changeup over, maybe he'll throw more changeups. I've always said I thought he needed a better slider in order to get some of the hitters out. A put-away pitch is what I'm talking about, and I don't know if Kyle has one of those when you can reach back maybe and strike a guy out. That's what you need here on this level.
Well, now that was a pretty good pitch right there, but it seemed after the first inning that he went right down the stairs of the dugout. Rich Doobie followed, and there had to be some kind of conversation that they had.
Yeah, well, be more aggressive. Whatever happens, happens. Don't pitch, don't pitch scared, and you got to go at the hitters in order to have success.
So that's a good pitch there. It was a cutter that was floating away. It started in the strike zone, and McHenry chased. So strikeout number 4 for Kendrick.
Yeah, that's 1 ball, 2 strikes. You can expand the zone and get away from over the heart of the plate. That appeared to be a strike as that ball darted away, down and away. That's what I'm talking about. First pitch strikes.
And there you go. Floater to the right side. Nice play by Wigginton. Plenty of time to set himself. Kendrick is there. Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings for Kyle. 7 in a row set down by the Phils right-hander. On to the bottom of the 4th. Phillies trail at 5-2. get 30-plus MPG. Go further. Visit your Quality Plus Ford store today. Buy Xfinity, the official HD triple play provider of your Phillies. And by Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. Call 1-800-JEFF now for an appointment. Home half of the fourth inning on a gorgeous afternoon for baseball. Placido Polanco will lead it off against A.J. Burnett. Burnett was the last hitter, so he took his sweet old time getting to the dugout and then getting back out to the mound. So he's still warming up right now.
Well, just getting a little extra rest, although it's a beautiful day today.
Excited to go down to Miami, Sarge, to see the new stadium?
Excited to see the new stadium. Want to see how the ball travels.
Had you ever seen a football game at the Orange Bowl, which is the site?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. I'm just wondering, for the Fighting Phils, who will be that first one to take one deep.
It's a big ballpark, they say.
Yeah.
Left center field. Placido Polanco leads it off here in the fourth. And a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. Well, the stadium is kind of in an opposite direction of where the other stadium was, where the Dolphins play.
Yep.
It's about a half hour south. Swing and a miss, 0-2. As we mentioned, it's at the site of the old Orange Bowl. I've done football games, or I did football games at the old Orange Bowl. And great vantage points.
Yeah.
Bench seating, though, at the old Orange Bowl. And this one, they say, is absolutely gorgeous inside.
Can't wait to see it. Oh, the best thing, too, about it and having the dome, you know you're going to start the games on time. Unlike before, you get the rain showers or thunderstorms in. You warm your pitcher up. Now you have problems. Now you know you're going to be ready to go right away.
Ground ball softly hit to short. Boy, Burnett has kept Polanco off balance on his first two at-bats. The probables for that series: tomorrow, Cliff Lee against Josh Johnson. Saturday, Cole Hamels against Mark Burley. And then Sunday, Joe Blanton against Ricky Nolasco.
Well, don't have to tell you what a big series that's going to be. I mean, fight your way, make sure you stay out of that cellar. And they got to start climbing if they're going to make a move. You don't want to be too many games out, you know, when the big piece gets back.
Big piece will be playing tonight as the DH for the Lakewood Blue Claws. Lakewood is, in case you're writing some notes down, Sarge, taking on West Virginia tonight. South Atlantic League action. Little topper in front of the plate. And McHenry throws out Wigginton.
Oh, boy, I tell you, been there, done that. Off the end of the bat. It hits the plate. Maybe it can spin back. Foul ball, but you can see out in front of home plate, too, though, just how soft it is. You get a lot of water there. Again, they used to do that in Wrigley Field all the time because they had so many sinker ball pitchers. Rick Russell to be one of them, and Ferguson Jenkins. They like it when it's that way because that ball with that first bounce doesn't really travel. And then to boot, they'd have the grass up high. Used to drive Billy Buckner just crazy.
Why? Because you got to charge in and make those plays?
And try and get hits.
Oh.
You know, you
I
hit
guess
a ball there.
I have to look at it as a hitter.
Yeah, well, you know, trying to get hits and drive in runs. You hit the ball up the middle, and it doesn't get to the outfield because the grass is so high.
0-2 the count to Fontenot. And a swing and a miss at a curveball. Fontenot's tagged out to wrap up the inning. That's 3 strikeouts in the last 2 innings for A.J. Burnett. 4 overall. 1, 2, 3 go the Phils, and we'll go to the top of the 5th. Philadelphia for a weekend series Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 20th, 21st, and 22nd of July. 22nd is the Pico Roy Halladay Fathead Jr. Free to fans 14 and under. You know what those fatheads are. We got one of Wheels last year.
Looks good.
Yep, it's still up here in the booth. Folks who come by their tours get their photo taken with Wheels and his fathead. Order your tickets by heading to Phillies.com. Drew Sutton leads it off here in the 5th. That fathead of Wheels, which, sorry to say that fans can't see it, but it's up in the back of the TV booth here.
He's very proud of that.
Very proud of it. I have to admit, if I was a kid, I mean, when I was a kid, I had pennants and posters on the wall in my house. Now I'd probably have fatheads.
Well, I mean, let's face it. Back in the day, that's all you had was pennants. You stuck them on the wall there with whatever you could.
Hunter Pence got a good jump, and he closes quickly. And one away. It'll bring Neil Walker to the plate. Let's check in with Murph. He's got our Major League Notebook. Murph?
I do indeed, T-Mac. Brought to you by Gwinnett Mercy College. According to sources, the L.A. Dodgers have signed a young Cuban player, 7 years, $42 million. His name is Yasiel Puig. He's 21 years old. He's described as a five-tool outfielder who can hit for average and hit for power. The Dodgers, though, have yet to confirm that report. And the Diamondbacks pitcher Daniel Hudson, he is headed to the disabled list with what might be a season-ending elbow injury. He has a torn UCL ligament in that elbow. He's going to get a second opinion, but probably Tommy John surgery is on the horizon for Hudson, guys.
Yeah, I would think Dr. James Andrews, is that probably where the second opinion's coming there, Murph?
I would imagine, as it often is, it's an unfortunate situation. Thought maybe he could pitch through it, but obviously with the complete tear, not going to be able to do that. So going to get that second opinion, but it looks like he's headed for surgery.
Boy, some big arms this year having that surgery. It's I mean, it happens every year, but it just seems like there's some big arms that are going down with that surgery this year.
Only good thing, though, is that usually they're able to come back because the medicine and the operations are just so good. And I mentioned it before. These guys are in pretty good shape.
Swing at a foul tip. Walker's rung up. 5 strikeouts now for Kendrick. And it'll bring Andrew McCutchen to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Murph, I'm very proud of you that you were able to get the pronunciation of that Cuban ball player's name. I know you're working on it before the ball game.
Yeah, I worked on it for about a half an hour, but I got it. Yasiel Puig. That's the way we're saying it until they change it.
Well,
but, as of right now. And I'll tell you what.
I think it sounds great.
Yeah, I think it sounded pretty good, too. I'll tell you, the Dodgers are very excited. Baseball is very excited to see what this young guy can do. I mean, he's obviously highly talented. He defected from Cuba and now obviously going to be a part of the Dodgers organization. But it sounds like he's going to be one heck of a player.
Well, you think about the number of players that have defected from Cuba since 1991. He is the 241st that has been signed to a major league contract. You hear of some of the bigger names, and he, I guess, is one of the bigger names. You don't hear some of the some of the other guys, like let's say Raul Valdez.
And these players trying to get out, and some of them do. And for me, you got to admire that, to be able to come to a different country and you're planning on one thing, to play baseball to make your living. So you got to have just a whole lot of not only just pride, but also ability to come here to be able to play. I mean, this is every kid's dream, especially just in the States, to be able to get to the major leagues.
2-2 to McCutchen is hit foul.
Hit the camera softly.
I think it hit Bill Egbert's camera down there in the third base dugout. McGee, the pride of Monsignor Bonner High School, just flipped it into the crowd. That's what he is. He's a benevolent guy. Down and away, 3-2. Nine set down in order for Kendrick, trying to make it 10 in a row. Back toward the middle. Rollins on one hop. Has it. Casually throws to first. In time to get the hustling McCutchen. And the side is retired in order again. Well, that's 10 in a row set down by Kyle Kendrick. Phil's down 3 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. 76ers insider Dean Lineham will preview tonight's NBA draft. And the Union's new team manager, John Hackworth, talks about their recent success and the upcoming matchups. Watch the best talk of Philly sports on Daily News Live tonight at 5 on Comcast Sportsnet. Bottom of the order is due up Eric Kratz. He's provided the only offense against A.J. Burnett, who is seeking his 8th consecutive win. Last time somebody in the Pirates organization won 8 straight starts, it was Doc Ellis. As Kratz takes a curve for strike one, it's 0-1.
He actually had 2 stints in 71. He won 10 straight. He's one of those guys, very tall pitcher, 6'4", 6'5", fastball, slider.
Had himself a lot of personal issues. I mean, he's been he had been very open about his drug use and alcohol use, and the fact that he was high on drugs often when he pitched.
That's hard to believe. I mean, I believe him because he said he did it. Has since passed. The fact is, very hard to do that. Maybe one of the reasons he was that way and ended up throwing the no-hitter is that he was out there not knowing what he was doing.
Well, I know you and I were talking before that he was part of the Pirates lineup on September 1st, 1971.
Yep.
It was the first time in baseball history that the entire lineup was made up of African Americans or Latino players. Barmas has time and he throws Kratz out. And looking at that lineup, Rennie Stennett, Gene Kleins, Roberto Clemente, Willie Stargell, Manny Sanguillen, the great Dave Cash, Al Oliver, who could hit.
Oh boy, could he hit? Just ask Larry Anderson. Larry used to always throw the ball and duck when he threw. He kept talking about he felt he was going to hit the ball up the middle all the time, and he said he just used to scare him. I think that's the scariest hitter that Larry Anderson has faced.
Kendrick takes a strike at the knees. It's 0-1.
Danny Murtaugh with that club was the manager. And to be able to manage those type of characters would almost show you what kind of character he had to get the respect. And those guys did play and play hard.
Well, not only was it a historical day, but there was an awful lot of talent in that lineup.
Oh, a lot of talent. Willie Stargell just himself and Roberto Clemente. And what a player.
That day, Rennie Stennett played second, which it's not a surprise, but because he was at second, Dave Cash played third.
Yeah. I wish Willie was alive to be able to go over that, although Steve Blass, he was there. He talks about it.
When you talk to Steve Blass about it, did they recognize the significance at the time?
No, at the time, no, but the one that really noticed was Willie Stargell, because Rennie Stennett had said, "Hey, Willie, can you believe?" And Willie said, "Oh, yeah." He said, he says, "No, I can't believe it." But again, the players then in those days didn't care what color you were, as long as you were able to go out there and play defense and hit the ball. Yeah, later on, obviously, they're calling themselves the lumber company, and they always seem to have the largest players in the league for whatever reason.
1-2 the count to Kendrick. Takes a curve inside 2-2. Yeah, you think about the lumber company: Willie Stargell, Dave Parker, Bill Robinson. Bill Madlock was part of that, right?
Bill Matlock was not with that club.
No, I'm saying with the lumber company.
Oh, yeah, with the lumber company, yeah, for sure. Moreno there in center field. Moreno.
Kendrick stays alive.
Those guys just used to just murder your pitchers. And coming over and playing with the Phillies, I mean, the rivalry there was really strong at that time. The Phillies against the Pirates.
Swing and a miss. He went after a breaking pitch. 5th strikeout for A.J. Burnett.
The year that I broke in '73, Willie Stargell was not the MVP, but Pete Rose. But when you look at his number, hitting 44 home runs, driving in 119, how about his slugging percentage? 646. And he didn't win the MVP that year. Pete Rose won it, hitting 338 with 64 RBIs and 5 homers. The difference is, though, Cincinnati actually won that year.
Right, then lost to the Mets in the postseason.
Yeah. Stargell and the Pirates, I guess, at that time were what? About 2.5 games out. But the sports writers, and saying that, they were voting on usually the guy that had a good year and your team won.
Boy, A.J. Burnett is really fooling Rollins today. He's got him on strikes twice. He's ahead 0-2. He got him with fastballs his first time, curveballs his second time, and now here in his third at bat, it's 2 strikes to Jimmy. Chopper to first. And Casey McGee will take it to the bag. A 1-2-3 fifth inning. Phils go down in order for the second straight inning, 8 in a row, retired by A.J. Burnett. Things have settled down as we go to the 6th. Is battling back with the bat. After a slow, struggling start during April and May, Jimmy started to heat up as summer arrived. The kickstart at the top of the lineup the Phillies have enjoyed for so long returned in June, and the leadoff hitter's bat once again began to deliver with consistency. As J-Roll goes, so go the Phillies. And his turnaround is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Now more than ever, we're here for you every step of the way. Oh, in between innings, the Fanatic putting on a show with one of the members of the United States Army, trying to lift up that dumbbell there, Sarge, trying to get it up. You think they got it? We'll leave it hanging there for a second because they had some trouble with it.
Yeah, it appeared. He's big and strong.
He's having trouble with it too. That's a pretty hefty load there. Garrett Jones leads it off and lines it to right field. Pence is there. 1 out. So what do you do, Sarge, when you're having trouble lifting up the weights?
Gotta get a little help.
That's right. Attaboy. See, all it is, Sarge, is the presence of mind. One out here in the 6th. Casey McGee, who's 1 for 2. And there's a strike, 0-1.
Not hitting for a high average at the way he can't hit. He does have power. We've seen that here just in the series.
Saw that back at the first with the 3-run bomb.
The inconsistency is what keeps him from playing on a daily basis. Played every day, however, when he was with the Milwaukee Brewers at third base. He might have made a mistake. He was offered a contract for 3 years at $21 million. He turned it down and Has never gotten close to that since.
Hit 23 home runs that year, 104 runs batted in. But last year he struggled, struck out a lot, worked hard, but his job was taken by Jerry Hairston Jr. at the end of the year, and Hairston was eventually the starting third baseman in the postseason. 3-1 the count to McGee. And there's ball 4. So it's the first base runner for the Pirates since the second.
This is what I'm talking about. Now that series power right there, hitting against that back leg, and he gets it back there. Yeah, and that's what will keep you in that lineup. Those 3-run home runs. I asked him about that ground ball yesterday that he was doing the cha-cha over there at first base. He said they were in a no double situation. He jumped out there and he remembered he was supposed to be in no doubles. He leaned back. Then he said he was trying to go toward the hole, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, most first basemen would have made that play.
I said I didn't see the lean back, and I said I didn't know you were in no doubles. But the coaches were all over him about that and said, well, why didn't you just go catch the ball? He had no answer.
No doubles or not, go get the ball.
Those are things, though, you can talk about and poke fun at players when you win. Not so funny when you're doing that and you lose.
Well, Clint Hurdle will poke fun. He was saying today before the ball game, his media sessions can be long, but this one was kind of quick. Somebody was asking him about Pedro Alvarez and the fact that he's a better hitter in day games than night games. He was the hitting coach with Josh Hamilton in Texas when all that came out about Hamilton struggling during day games. He's not anymore. And he said today, well, we'll see how it plays out because they have 3 day games in the next 4 days, counting this one. He said, I'm not as smart as you guys. I'm not as smart to know why a player is better during the day than at night. He said, I don't get it. He said, there's all these statistics saying this guy is this guy is that. He goes, I don't know. If you look at it next year, it'll probably be totally different.
Yeah, a good point.
3-1 the count. 3-2.
McCutcheon, another one of those players that doesn't hit as well during the course of the day. Almost seems too, though, for me that you'd be able to see the ball a little bit better in the daytime, especially with a good background. I'll say one thing, though. All players that come in here, especially the guys that are playing every day, they love this ballpark and love to hit it.
Runner leads off first, 3-2 with 1 out. He got him out off balance. That's going to be a tough play, but Pierre makes the catch. It carried out there to a spot where Pierre could track it down. Well, later on today, it's somewhat of a busy day. Not everybody's playing, but somewhat of a busy day. Phillies will keep their eye on what's going on in Colorado. The Nationals will take on the Rockies. Josh Outman for the Rockies. Edwin Jackson for the Nationals. San Diego's at Houston at 8:05. The Braves will take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Jair Jurgens will make his second start since coming back from the minor leagues. And the Mets are in L.A. Chris Young against Chris Capuano. How about Chris Capuano? 9-2.
He's a guy that doesn't throw very hard and moves the ball in and out.
But Barmes has struck out. He's also popped to third. 5-run first inning. That was it for the Pirates. 2 runs in the second for the Phils and a home run by Kratz. Now we're in the 6th.
Only hitting a $198, and that's 212 at bats. Keep telling you, we'll be renaming that Mendoza line before it's all said and done.
Swing and a miss. He got him with a slider. 6 strikeouts for Kendrick. He has not allowed a hit since the 2nd inning. Bottom of the 6th inning. Juan Pierre will lead it off when we get back. More. Buy McDonald's. Now at McDonald's, any size soft drink or sweet tea is just $1. And buy Nissan's National 10 event. For a limited time, get bonus cash on Altima and Rogue. Visit ChooseNissan.com or your local dealer today. Well, Sarge Kyle Kendrick, despite giving up 5 in the first, which was deflating at the time, has allowed only 1 hit since the 2nd. So now all the fans settling in on a bright, sunshiny afternoon.
What a beautiful hat, keeping the sun off of you. Ladies' hat, I was talking about, Tom.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, I thought the other guy's hat was just, the other person's hat was just a run-of-the-mill cap, Sarge.
Oh, boy.
I saw you had some new hats that came in as part of the Sarge collection.
Yeah. Yeah. Got to keep them fresh, as the younger kids would say.
A bunt by Pierre, picked up by McHenry. Nice play. Made sure, since he saw Pierre didn't run right away, that he gets it on the hop.
Oh, boy.
Milwaukee Brewers will be here Monday, July 23rd. It's a 7:05 start. 2 night games and a day game. Dodge Italian Heritage Night on Monday the 23rd. Model Sporting Goods Kids Run the Bases after the Citizens Bank Business Person Special on Wednesday the 25th. You can get tickets by stopping by the ballpark or at any time go to Phillies.com.
Well, you're right, too, though. Right after that first inning, Hal has settled down. So, obviously, I mean, he has it in him to be able to do those and get ground balls and to shut down the innings. Got to just keep the ball out of that middle of the plate. And hitters this time of year just not missing those. It's a good pickup for the Pirates to get A.J. Burnett. Especially having some younger pitchers over there. And let's just face it, not like pitching in New York.
Well, you get a veteran like this, and everybody that we've talked to says he's a good guy.
Yeah.
But when you bring in some veterans, you never know what kind of influence they'll have.
Good point.
Some could be sour. He has been positive.
Right. And again, when you have a Clint Hurdle, a manager on your team that's able to sit down and talk with them right away and tell them what you need, and you end up getting guys that want to win first. That's what it's all about. Put your personal stats behind you and think about what can you do to win that ball game that particular day or night.
Victorino lines it to right center field. That'll be a base hit. McCutchen, who's played so deep, can get to it. It's a 2-hit afternoon for Shane. Again, the Phils only down by 3 here in the 6th.
get themselves another run or two, can be right back in the game. Put a little bit more pressure there on A.J. Burnett. See if he's able to handle it.
Right field, that'll drop for a hit. Victorino will go to third. Jones was playing very deep in right field. All right, first and third, one out. Phillies are just an extra base hit away from making this a one-run game, a home run away from tying the ball game up.
It's an inside-out swing right there. See that ball as it goes into right field. You can take a look at Shane, and he goes all the way to third base. He's safe at third. Safe and secure there, Tom, with New York Life.
Well, that's good to see. You know, the fact that they put a little pressure here on Burnett.
Now, these are situations, I mean, you have to be able to get runners in here. And if you can't, you know, you're just not going to be able to win. This is a huge game here for the Fighting Phils, because they win this game, you win the series.
Right, and you finish 6-4 on the homestand instead of 5-5. Polanco has hit 2 soft ground balls to shortstop both times.
He's got that little breaking ball going on right now, and he's been able to throw fastballs in, setting the guys up. But usually you get those runners on, he'll start you off with that breaking ball. Not necessarily looking for a hit. Long fly ball will get a run in.
Chris Resop, we just saw him throwing in the bullpen for the Pirates. So a pretty manageable pitch count for Burnett, who went 6 innings in his last outing. Left with a 4-0 lead.
Actually threw him a breaking ball off the plate, almost as if it backed up, meaning that it didn't have the true spin breaking away. It was spinning, but it just came in on him, and it appeared to Polanco looking as if that might have been a fastball. Got to be able to get something out of this situation, especially late in the ball game. They haven't been very good at this throughout the year.
Hit toward third. They're going to try for 2. Alvarez gets the runner at first, second, not in time at first. A run scores. So it's a 5-3 ball game. That's a good slide by Pence. If anything, he disrupted the footwork of Walker enough to allow Polanco to get an extra beat or 2 going up the first base line.
That's a real good point. That's what I'm talking about. Take a look at the slide. That will disrupt him. He actually hit his leg there. That's going to make it go by slow. Give credit, though. Polanco, even though on the ground hustling there, there's the slide as he upends him, and he is safe. Walker's not liking that, but those are those kind of things that makes you back in the ball game, but more importantly, becomes contagious. You start to win some of those close ball games.
So 5-3 the score. 94 on that fastball from Burnett to Ty Wigginton. He's 1 for 2. Wigginton singled and scored in the second. But a little dribbler in front of the plate. And McHenry took care of. Pence is doing some adjusting to his pants now. In the dirt. Kicked around by McHenry.
Saw him start Ty off with that high fastball, and he knows that Ty likes it. A lot of times he'll swing at that high fastball and came back with a breaking ball. Now you want to make sure that you get your pitch. He's in the driver's seat. You're looking for a pitch to really hit hard in the hammer. And if it isn't there, you just take it.
Well, there you go. It wasn't where he wanted it. It was a breaking pitch, and now it's 3-0.
I would think he'd have the 3-0 hit here. Well, and Charlie goes on whether or not you'll swing, on how you're swinging.
And he thinks he's swinging well the last few games.
Well, swinging well. I mean, again, he's in the driver's seat. Disciplined, not swinging at that 2-0 slider.
Inside ball 4.
Like he was just taking all the way there. Now, that's a situation for me. AJ never gave in to him to throw him a hittable pitch.
They'll bring Ray Searage to the mound. This might be just to give him a second or so. He did ask him if he was okay, and he said he was okay. $44,521. The 245th consecutive regular season sellout here at the ballpark. Tonight on Sports Night, highlights, analysis, and reaction of this ball game. Marshall Harris will report from Lakewood as Ryan Howard gets ready to get back to the show. Plus, D. Lynham has a live report at Sixers draft headquarters tonight during the NBA draft. Get all the news Philly fans need to know on Sports Night. That's at 6, only on Comcast Sports Night. Fontenot's 0 for 2. He's fly to left. He is struck out. After a long meeting, we're ready to go. Runners lead off first and second. First pitch is way outside and high. A base hit. The way the outfielders are set up, the best arm is in center. That's McCutchen. But a base hit, this should be a one-run game. Should be a one-run game.
Not only that, with 2 outs, I mean, you take the guesswork out of it, so they should be off and running. All about your secondary lead, however, and they're not holding him on, so it should be able to score. You're absolutely right.
Up the first baseline. McGee will take it to the bag, so the Phillies settle for just the 1 run. They leave a couple, so they've made it a 2-run ball game. A.J. Burnett is through 6. His lead is down to 2 as we move to the 7th. But these first inning home runs really hurt.
Yeah, it set the tone a little bit early in the game, but the Phillies have battled back. That's a long one by Casey McGee out the left center field. And then Pedro Alvarez got a breaking ball there, it looked like. Or a changeup, something slow out over the plate and hit it in the first row. That made it 5-0. But, you know, they've climbed back right now as we check out the summary. And they just had a couple men on with 2 outs and didn't score. Phillies with 3 runs in this ball game, got the 1 run in the 6th inning and left a couple out there. And A.J. Burnett's been solid through 6, as Tom said. Kyle Kendrick settled down nicely since the first inning.
He's retired 17 of 19 hitters. He's allowed he hasn't allowed a hit since the 2nd inning. He's allowed just 1 base runner since the second inning. Look at the difference. I'm not sure what it is that Rich Doobie said to him or what Kyle thought about in between innings, but there's been a little bit of a change in the way he's gone after these hitters. Now he's fallen behind 1-0 to McHenry. Now 2-0.
Yeah, this is a big inning because it's his last inning. You would think they would hit for him, of course, in the seventh inning. So he needs he can get him one more time. He's got the bottom of the order. Got the 8th, and then Burnett's staying in the game. He's been throwing this guy more off-speed stuff too, breaking balls, hard stuff away as McHenry just beat one off his foot. And his swing's a little bit different than he was getting when he had those fastballs down the middle. As most guys are. That's what he's been throwing. For him, it's a cutter. It kind of looks like a slider sometimes, but it's a cutter, and that's a pitch they've been using a little more effectively on him today.
Ground ball to third. Diving stop. Polanco gets up, spins, throws, not in time. The ball leaked out of his glove once he was on the ground. So that extra couple seconds where he had to reach back down and pick it up, it probably cost him from getting McHenry, who was hustled up the first base line.
Yeah, McHenry really does hustle. Right here, he just smothers it. And the ball, as Tom said, leaked away. Takes a little time then to get after it, pick it up, and then throw. And even with a catcher running right there, he beat the play.
So Burnett's probably up there to sacrifice.
Right, they would want another run here, you would think.
But he bunts it, foul.
Has 1 sack this year.
Ryan Sanchez continues to throw the bullpen for the Phillies.
Phillies know, of course, that even McHenry ran that ball out really well. That's still a catcher at first base, so you have in your mind as a fielder, if this ball's bunted hard or to Kendrick, you can get a play at second. You may even get a double play. You have to keep that in mind. If it's bunted well, you forget about it.
Bunted in front of the plate. Kratz has a play at second. There's one. Rollins has thrown his first in time.
There you go.
2-6-4 on the double play.
And all the guys involved that could potentially touch the baseball, and that meaning the corner infielders, the pitcher, and the catcher, they have to remind themselves in that situation. We have a slow runner at first. If it's a ball we can handle and get a play at second, go get it. And then Jimmy does a tremendous job. Watch how he throws with no legs here. That's all arm. He just flips it. And Burnett's not going to run the ball out on a hot day either, so it was an easy play for Rollins to just flip it.
I don't know. I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
Well, I don't either, but
Drew Sutton's 1 for 3.
But a good job by Kratz, to go get that lead guy, and then they get extra on it for the double play when he doesn't run it out. But that flip by Rollins, no legs.
Backed off on the bag a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Well, he figured he didn't have any time. He doesn't know he's not running the ball out there necessarily, or maybe he did. But still, that's a pretty good throw with not being able to use your lower body. More out. He really needs to get the one more out, and then he's recovered very nicely after that first inning.
A 2-out walk, and that walk for Kyle is his 3rd of the game. These lucky fans are today's Citizens 7. They were interested in a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. Presley's going to come out and pinch run for Drew Sutton. Presley's probably sitting there wondering, man, what happened to my playing time? Sutton's gotten a chance to play left field instead of him.
Yeah, now he's going to be a pinch runner, then go in for defense.
Get this guy here, then you don't have to worry about McCutchen until the 8th.
Yeah, and then he'll lead off.
Oh, had him leaning.
Presley's definitely thinking about stealing a bag there with that kind of lead. Very aggressive lead. Kendrick with real quick feet here on the move. Just gets back.
Presley 7 for 14 trying to steal.
Yeah, that's not a very good percentage.
He started, then stopped. 1-0.
2 outs, nobody on base now. 2 outs and a base runner. Working a little bit on fumes probably right now, but trying to get that last out. It's so important in this game for him to get through this inning. Not have to go to the bullpen here. Not give up any more runs. Everything about it. You hit for him.
They retired the Pirates in order in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And each time the Phillies pitchers do that, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports, giving you all your favorite sports all year long.
Walker, a switch hitter with more power left-handed.
Runner goes. Pitch is sliced the opposite way. Pierre backs up, makes the catch, and Kendrick gets through the 7th inning. Well, he allowed the 5 runs in the 1st inning, but since that time settled in to pitch scoreless baseball, allowed 2 hits over the next 6 innings. Now as we go to the bottom of the 7th, Eric Kratz will start it off for the Phils. All right, Wheels, here you go. Name the Pirates closer that holds the single season team record for saves with 46.
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
I don't. You do. I don't.
I'm telling you, you know it.
I know the name, but give me a year.
Played for the Phillies after he did this.
Al Holland?
No, good guess, but no. It's Alex Presley, by the way.
Oh, Teak?
No, good guess there, too.
Played for the Phillies. Well, I hit 2 of the guys. All right, my ears are hurting from the buzzer.
2002. Mike Williams.
Oh, Mike Williams.
Yeah. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. And thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans.
I forgot what a good job he did for them that year.
Eric Kratz drew a home run back in the second. I just realized the bell rang there.
Yeah, the bell rang after 2 buzzers. 3 buzzers, excuse me.
Chase Utley's out of the on-deck circle. There's Chase. Wasn't sure if it was going to be Jim Thome or Chase Utley. Juan Cruz is in the bullpen. A.J. Burnett is at 89 pitches with nobody out here in the 7th. The count.
Yeah, Burnett really, after the first time through the order, started to really pitch with a lot of breaking balls. He's still throwing them. But Kratz hit a fastball off him, and that changed his whole approach to the lineup the rest of the day. This where you got to get a ball eliminate half the plate in here. He throws a breaking ball, take it.
Throws a fastball, and it's 3-2.
Probably a little low.
Oh, the camera's out there, Wheels, for Utley.
Yeah. There was a rush down there towards the on-deck.
There was. There's just to the right of that shot, there are 2 ladies that have taken over the aisleway to take some photos of him. Strikeout of Kratz. That's the 6th for A.J. Burnett. And here comes Chase Utley. He's like a rock star.
Bigger than a rock star.
Look at all the cameras out there. Look at all the folks standing all around the ballpark. Well, last night's crowd got a chance to welcome him back. Now today's crowd wants to do the same thing. Utley takes a strike. It's 0-1. He was 3 for 5 in last night's ball game. He homered in his first at bat of the season. At that point, the Phils had a 1-0 lead. Then Ruiz homered to make it 2-0. After that, the Phils were playing from behind the rest of the night. Check swing at a breaking pitch. They'll appeal. And he went, says Tim McClellan. 0-2.
It looks like he swings at this. You know, he gets a bat back quickly, and he did. Good call by McClellan.
Swing and a miss. It gets away from McHenry. Utley up the first base line, and well, that's a heck of a throw by McHenry. He threaded the needle. 7 strikeouts now for Burnett. 2-3 on the putout.
He threw him some good curveballs. You know, it's almost like, you know, they faced each other so many times. It's almost like Burnett figured he's going to spot me a fastball, and he got one for a strike. Then he went with curveballs. Good job by McHenry to find it and then make a good throw, as Tom said there. You know, that play can be a little bit tough. And all right, we got our pictures.
So Rollins now 0 for 3.
Boy, has he been seeing a lot of hooks his last couple times up.
This is probably Burnett's last inning. Kenrick goes 7 innings. Rollins takes 2-0. Hard-working fanatic right there, Wheels, building some skyscrapers and such.
Maddox headed down to Clearwater, a Threshers game, after we leave town.
Deserves a vacation.
Yeah, working vacation, I guess. Good job by Jimmy. Try to get on base. Make Burnett throw some more pitches on a hot afternoon. That's where he's been getting a lot of breaking balls.
And he gets one again. It's 3-1.
Yeah, you know, he's much more patient in this at bat. Burnett really frustrated him with curveballs his last 2 times up.
Each team with 6 base hits. The difference, the Pirates have hit 2 home runs. Phillies have hit 1. Rollins lays off in ball 4, so he's aboard.
Good job. Really had a good at bat that time after, you know, just kind of struggling, and that's it. Clint Hurdle's going to make a move.
He's going to bring in a right-hander. Chris Resop was warming up earlier for the Pirates. And this is the first trip to the mound. And Juan Cruz was warming as well.
That's right. That doesn't mean he has to make a change now. He may be on a recon.
No, that's it. Yeah. Took the baseball, and it looked like Burnett was content with that. 101 pitches, 6 shy of his season high. So he'll leave with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's an AT&T call-up bullpen. The Phils have a base runner. The tying run is due up when we return.
Finished after 6 2/3. Got Jimmy Rollins there on the strikeout on a high fastball. Good curveball there to Hunter Pence. Used his curveball very effectively as the game went along. That looked like a changeup there. Another breaking ball. Got Chase Utley as a pinch hitter in this inning. So A.J. Burnett trying to run his winning streak to 8 straight.
So he's done. Juan Cruz is in the ball game for the Pirates. 5-3 the score. Tying run is at the plate. Charlie Manuel's decided to allow Juan Pierre to hit. Now he has options obviously against Cruz. He's already used Chase Utley. So Chase was a pinch hitter for the pitcher's spot. Now Cruz in his 32nd game, 1-1 at 2.77 earned run average. You know, this is a spot, even though it's the bottom of the 7th inning, he could use Jim Thome because it is a right-hander coming up. But he's decided to use Pierre. Maybe thinking if Pierre can get a hit, it extends the life of the inning and keeps the middle of the order. Gives the middle of the order a chance. He has Ruiz available to pinch hit if he needs him. Chase Utley's walked over toward Charlie Manuel with a glove in his hand. I wonder if he's trying to lobby his way into this ball game. You see Burnett looking on.
No doubt.
Pierre 1 for 3. 1 ball and no strikes. The only reason I thought maybe use Thome here because there's no lefty in sight. And you figure later on Tony Watson would be used, let's say in the 8th inning. Hanrahan, if it's a lead, would be used in the 9th inning. Although maybe it would be Grilly anyway because they'd have the lead, the Pirates.
Grilly seems to be their 8th inning guy. 2 hard throwers, Grilly and Hanrahan.
Rollins leads off first. Outside and high, 2-0. They also have, as we said, Ruiz available too. So you probably wouldn't use Carlos in this spot.
No.
There he is. Windbreaker on, sunglasses.
Enjoying a day off. I can't imagine any player who enjoys a day off more than a catcher on a hot day. Carlos is the kind of guy, he likes to play all the time, but if you're going to give me the day, this is a good one.
He's been so hot at the plate, you wonder if he just wants to keep on playing.
Well, you want to keep him hot, he's got to sit once in a while.
3-0 the count to Pierre. There goes Rollins. Pitches outside, ball 4. That ball is live. What I mean by that, if that got away from Barnes, even though it was ball 4 and got it to center field, Rollins could have gotten up and taken off.
Right, that's why a catcher always wants a quick call in spots like that when the runner's going. Series is going to come out and talk to Cruz right now.
He does pay an awful lot of visits to the mound, and it's his right, obviously.
A lot of trips.
But with a veteran's bullpen.
Well, the only thing you can come out and talk about right now is to make sure you're on the same page with your pitcher and catcher on how you're going to pitch this hitter. There's nothing else to discuss. And no other strategy.
Victorino today has 2 hits and 3 official at-bats.
He only pitched to 1 hitter, so you're not coming out there to talk about mechanics or anything like that. I don't think. And Cruz, one of his best pitches is a changeup. And I don't think you want to throw Victorino a fastball in the strike zone if you're the Pirates. And they maybe just want to remind him of that.
Chris Riesoff is back up in the pen. Victorino singled in the first.
And they may even go change up on the first pitch, thinking he might be anxious in this situation, an RBI, and see if they can get him out.
I think he was in the second when he grounded out to second with a runner at second base with 1 out. Does throw a changeup.
Sure, that's what they're going to talk about when they go out there. And, what's he vulnerable to, especially early if he's aggressive.
Pirates bullpen came into the series the 2nd best in the National League earned run average.
Hey, deep and right.
Oh boy, even the left.
They get the no doubles defense. Don't hit it over my head working. Look at left and right. Now McCutcheon, he has great confidence in his ability to go back on the ball. So but look at Garrett Jones and Presley, the new left fielder. Well, Pierre can walk home, or Rollins can walk home, and Pierre, they're trying to prevent scoring from any kind of extra base hit to tie the game. And they have first baseman over near the line. McGee. Got a breaking ball there. Another off-speed pitch. Here's where Shane's thinking they're going to throw me a fastball here. And as a hitter, you have to try and recognize that it's not a fastball if it isn't, and take it, even if it's a strike, because it's one you're going to get out front on a lot of times, unless you're really looking for it.
Off the end of the bat to left field, and Alex Presley will end the inning. A fly out to left field on a changeup. Phillies leave a couple. That preserves the inning for A.J. Burnett. We've played 7. Andrew McCutcheon will lead it off for the Pirates when we get back for the 8th inning. local Chevy dealer. Visit ChevyDealer.com. Buy WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. Buy Citizens Bank. We're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. And buy Mazda. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. Citizens Bank Business Person Special here at the ballpark. And the Fanatic has found some business folks. Come up and join him up on the dugout. Funny, you get them away from the office wheels. They're okay with letting loose. Brian Sanchez will come on to start the 8th inning.
One of the fresh arms they brought up today. See what he did with the then Florida Marlins last year, now the Miami Marlins. We will see in person tomorrow night in their new yard.
He had a couple pretty good years with the then Florida Marlins. 3-1 with a 2.48 ERA at AAA. He also was up here with the Phils earlier this season. He essentially took the roster spot of Joe Savory. And then Jeremy Horst took the roster spot of Chad Qualls, who was designated for assignment. Chad said today that he's asked Ruben Amaro to trade him, which is what the Phillies could try to do over the next 10 days. Otherwise, he'd have to accept an assignment or become a free agent. Andrew McCutcheon's 0 for 3. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. Kyle Kendrick over the last 6 innings. 2 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts.
He did a good job after that first inning of keeping the game right where it is and give his team a chance to catch up. They've had a couple shots, maybe to get more runs, haven't been able to do it.
To the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kendrick did a good job against McCutcheon. He got him to fly out in the first, strike out in the second, and ground out in his last turn at bat. Over to shortstop on 1 hop. Well, don't forget, tonight at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, voting will shut down for this year's All-Star Game. Help send Carlos Ruiz and all of his teammates to this year's All-Star Game in Kansas City. Vote up to 25 times at Phillies.com. They'll announce the rosters, I think it's this Sunday. And you would have to believe that even if Carlos does not make it with the fan vote, that Tony La Russa is going to take him. I know Charlie talked to Tony yesterday. We had planned on talking to Tony yesterday. And that is usually the case with managers.
Yeah, Charlie had enough talking to him over the years when he was the manager. Well, so-and-so called me today, pitching his guy.
Well, I think Ruiz is easy.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's the best hitter in the majors right now.
Well, and you know,
fly ball to right field. That's carrying pretty well. Pence going back, and that one is gone. No, it's off the top of the wall, they're saying. Jones heading to third, then stops.
They may review that.
They may review that one, yeah. Second base umpire Marvin Hudson went out to look at it. Here comes Clint Hurdle. He's going to ask them to review it. I have to admit, Wheels, I thought it hit the stairway.
Yeah.
Beyond the little fence and then shot back.
The wind picked it up out towards right and right center, and it really carried.
Hit the top of the fence.
Good call.
Yeah.
Good call. Hit the top of the fence. Here.
That's a perfect angle. Top of the fence.
Yep.
Yeah, they may review it. They'll talk to Tim McClellan about it. Marvin Hudson will go over and talk to the crew chief about it.
Good call. Marvin Hudson ran out there, too. He had a good angle. He hustled, and he got it right.
So they're going to review this one. Tim McClellan does not do a whole lot of things very quickly, and he'll strut on over to the replay with Brian Runge and Marvin Hudson. Ted Barrett will stay on the field. If they see that angle, that side angle, and they have all of the angles that we have at our disposal, then they'll see that it hit the top of the fence and came back. So it will be a double for Garrett Jones, his 10th of the year.
Yeah, you have the technology. That did look like it hit the top of the wall as you described it, but you don't know. We had one earlier today that went over the fence out there and rattled around real quick, and that one was a little bit hard to tell. So it's only a couple minutes. You might as well do it. And the camera angles are showing that it clearly hits the top of the fence and bounces back.
Yeah, right there it did. And Pence went after it right away. Here we go. It's hard to tell there, but there it comes. Boop.
Yep. It's a double.
And they'll see it. They'll see it on that front shot, but they'll also be able to see it on the side shot. Clint Hurdle's going to head back toward the dugout. Tim McClellan looked at it, and he's going to talk to Clint Hurdle. He put up the two fingers, and that's it.
Good job all around.
Yeah, from our vantage point, I thought it hit the stairway and shot back up. So I could see where Garrett Jones, looking at it from his angle, thought that it hit the stairway and shot back out.
But give the second base umpire a lot of credit there, Hudson, because he hustled out there and he had a good angle and he got the call right. You know him enough when things go wrong. So.
And that took all of, what, 30 seconds?
Yeah, right.
The walk-in was probably what took the longest.
Well, it was deliberate. But that wasn't a hard one for them at all once they got a look at it.
0-1 the count to McGee.
And they have to like it when they get one like that. They go, ooh, we got it right.
One and one the count. To center field. Victorino on the run, has room, makes the catch, braces himself. Jones is tagging. Rollins' relay throw on one hop hits the runner and scoots away. Jones is going to hold up at third.
Jones is not a very fast runner, to say the least. And, that's a gimme tag to go to third. But you're not worried about it that much because you're already in scoring position. And then when the ball bounced away, a lot of guys are going to score on that. But Nick Lave was trying to find a rope to hold him there. Here it is. Off the bat, it looked like he may have been a homer. Now, see, with two out, you're not thinking that much about one out. You're not thinking about that much about going to third. Now you go back, and now they got a shot at him, but it hits him. And now it bounces away, and he's thinking about going. And I'm sure Nick is yelling, no, no, no. There's Shane making the play, and that's about as far as he could go. A lot going on there.
Yep. Now we'll see what they do with Alvarez with the right-hander Barmes. Yeah, they're going to walk him intentionally. This is the right move because Barmes is hitting under 200, and Alvarez being a left-handed hitter. Here comes intentional ball 4. By the way, in the Phil's bottom of the 8th inning, Hunter Pence, Placido Polanco, Ty Wigginton, and it looks like it'll be against Jason Grilli.
Yeah, well, he's their 8th inning guy. And he came in, pitched a solid inning last night. And then Hanrahan came in a non-save to get work and didn't throw a whole lot of. That's what we were talking about last night with Hanrahan, that they wanted to hopefully have him come in and have a quick inning and a non-save, and he did.
Barmes 0 for 3. Couple strikeouts at a pop out. Takes outside 1-0. Lost his bat. 84 miles an hour on that slider. He's going to get a little pine tar.
McHenry's happy he didn't get a little more on that one. Died right in front of him.
He cleaned it off for him, though.
Yeah. Well, he'd much rather walk over and pick it up when it stops spinning than ducking it going over his head.
So at a Major League scoreboard, the Rockies have jumped out to a 5-0 lead over Washington at the bottom of the first. Little tapper foul.
Who gave them up?
That was Edwin Jackson.
Boy, the Nats have scored a ton of runs in that series.
They have.
They got beaten in the first game, and then they have gone to town for 2 days, and it's really early in that one. Day games at Coors, oh my, does it fly out there. Sad what's going on in Colorado too with all those fires.
Yeah.
Oof.
See some of the shots at the Air Force Academy.
Horrible.
Overwhelming. 1-2 pitch. Lays off 2-2.
The Air Force Academy down near Colorado Springs, and that's where terrible fires are raging.
It's 2-2 to Clint Barmes. Pirates signed Barmes during this offseason as a free agent out of the Houston Astros organization. Runners lead off first and third. Runner on first now. Alvarez will be off on this pitch. With the count 3-2 with 2 outs. McHenry's on deck.
You hear those whistles down there. They're coming from the Phillies dugout to tell Wigginton to play off the runner at first. He's going to go anyway.
Somebody's got to be able to whistle, Wheels.
Always on a bench. And that also, the infielders then have to think, okay, I have no play at second now. You know, ground ball hit to me, we're going to first. Because every once in a while you'll see a guy get a vapor lock out there and forget about that. And a guy safe all around, run scores, and you go, oh man, how did that happen on this level?
Swing and a miss. He got him with a slider. First strikeout for Sanchez. He got into a little bit of trouble here in the 8th, but leaves 2. That means the Phils get a chance to the bottom of the 8th, down by 2. Game. This one certainly helped. The Phils looking for a double play on a bunt by A.J. Burnett. Kratz got out quickly. Rollins flipped it to first. And A.J. Burnett kind of helped out because he bunted it badly. And he really didn't even run.
A hot day. Yeah, a hot day. Wasn't going to run out. But good play by the Phillies to think about who the runner was at first base. And if the ball's bunted in an area where you could think about throwing to second, go for it. And they did.
Our Home Depot defensive play of the game. Home Depot doing more on defense. Jose Tabata will take over in right field for Garrett Jones. And Jason Grilli will take over on the mound for Juan Cruz. Grilli is having an outstanding year. He's 1-2 with a 1.82 earned run average. 46 strikeouts in 29 2/3. That's closer to 2 strikeouts per inning.
Yeah, and that is just a spectacular 8th inning guy for a club to come in and make nothing happen a lot of times.
Hunter Pence, Placido Blanco, Ty Wigginton, they're due up. And Pence takes a breaking ball for a strike. Really will throw 95, 96, but that slider is about 20 miles per hour or less.
Yeah, command that for strike one is pretty impressive.
Hunter today is 1 hit and 3 at bats. To left field. Going back on it is Presley to the warning track to the wall. Gone! A home run for Hunter Pence. It's his first home run since the 2nd of June, and he's just pulled the Phils to within 1. 5-4 Pittsburgh.
Well, he got a breaking ball there, and you know they throw him a lot of those. And if he can reach him, look out. And he can reach this one. That was a hanger. Stayed down on the plate a little bit, and he's so strong he lined that one out.
So the Phils are creeping, and then creeping some more, and they're within 1.
Yeah, we'll give the pitching credit here today after that tough first inning. Kyle Kendrick and then Sanchez in that inning kept it right where it is and giving him a chance to get back, and he hit him.
And Polanco hit by a pitch. The Phils have a base runner. The tying run is aboard. Brian Runge walking up the line with Polly.
Yeah, they're not trying to hit him on purpose.
I don't think Polanco was
a tying run.
Was really saying anything.
I hope not.
Did look out.
Yeah, that's more anything that it hurt, but he's certainly not trying to hit him.
He wanted the pitch outside.
Right.
Really missed his spot.
He's trying to hit him there. Somebody ought to slap him upside the head and tell him what the score in the situation is. So I'll just leave it at that.
Ty Wigginton having a conversation with Charlie Manuel before he went up to the batter's box. Phillies will leave for Miami after this ball game. They're hoping to leave with a victory and a win in the series. Alex Presley, the left fielder, is way back in left. Same with Tabata in right. McCutchen not as much in center. He's deep, but not as deep as the other two. Alvarez near the line at third. And the first pitch upstairs, 1-0 to Wigginton. No lefty in the pen for the Pirates. Let him throw a strike.
Right.
There is a lefty in the pen for the Phillies. It's Jeremy Horst, who's starting to warm. 2 balls, no strikes to Wigginton.
You know, he hates to be taken there, but it's the right thing to do.
The lefty, Papelbon, the right-hander. Just fiddling around right now. He's getting ready to start to loosen. 3-1 the count to Wigginton. Tying runs at first. Go ahead run at the plate.
Gotta keep pumping fastballs at him. More likely think about a strikeout double play, I think, than a ground ball double play. Oh, what a pitch he had to hit there and fouled it back. So odds are they won't run.
Short lead for Polanco. Swing and a miss. He got him. From a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. So Fontenot will bat here in the 8th with a runner at first. There's Jim Thome in front of the bat rack.
Yeah, this one's in a pretty good spot too. The one before that was really hittable. That is a nasty pitcher's pitch with 2 strikes. Well, it was 3-2, but still. When you throw it that hard in that location, you're going to win that battle usually.
Fontenot's 0 for 3 in today's ball game. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it away. Pence has made it a 1-run game. You wonder if this is a spot there that could have used Thome. Defensively, they'd be short if they did to bat him for Fontenot because they've already used Utley. Although they could move Wigginton to second and put Mayberry or Luna at first. 0-1 the count. They decide to stay with Fontenot here. Back to the box, off the glove of Grilli. It's in no man's land, and everybody is safe.
What a break. That's a double play baller for sure and out at second.
It's going to be a base hit, and here comes Jim Thome. No lefty up. Kratz is being pinch hit for by Thome.
Here it is. It just fools Jason Grilli. It's a pretty good sinker. He knows he has an easy play there. And it goes right off the tip of his glove. It's almost like he was starting to wheel and throw to second before he caught it, or else it just fooled him.
So now Thome with the tying run at second. The go-ahead run at first.
Well, right now they can go with Thome here, and then they can bring Ruiz out to bat for the pitcher, and that's what they're going to do. Yeah, there he is. Carlos comes out to hit for the pitcher, Sanchez. So you have both your bullets ready to go right now in a key spot.
Phillies have had base runners all day. The only clean innings for the Pirates were the 4th and the 5th. Other than that, the Phils left 2 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 3rd, and then 1 in the 1st. Thome, you saw just the one hit as a pinch hitter. It was a home run. Down the right field line, hooking, foul.
Talking about him the other day, you hardly ever see him do that.
Swing at a first pitch.
Oh no, but hook one way foul like that.
Yeah.
You think where he hits the ball all the time.
I think he broke his bat.
He broke his bat and went that far, but he's up there saying, I'm not going to let him get ahead of me. And it was down below the label a little bit. You hit a ball that far and break your back.
Be as strong as a lumberjack.
Yeah, he is. Got everybody interested.
Fouled it back 0-2.
Oh, what a catch. I caught that ball with one hand as hard as that was coming up there.
Getting high fives everywhere.
Well, he should. Don't hit the hand he just caught it in. That's got to be sore.
Jason Grilli can get it up to 96 miles an hour. At least that's what we've seen today. Jim Thome, well, he can turn on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, but he's down to the count 0-2.
Well, he's trying not to let him get ahead with fastballs on him, but no, he's fouled them both off. Playing in a pull in the infield or the other way in the outfield. Blanco knows ball hit to a left field or right fielder. He can score easily as deep as they are.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Grilli. Swing and a miss. He got him 96. Up and away. 2 outs.
This one's away. I don't know if it's a strike or not, but he just pumped out. Probably not ball 4, but chased it. Excuse me. Ball 1, but he chased it.
Looks like he might have gotten a piece of it, too.
Ruiz did not hit off Grilli last night.
He's had a whale of a homestand. .419 with 2 homers and 8 runs batted in. He's Major League Baseball's leading hitter, and he's up with the tying run at first here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Phillies trail it by 1. They were down 5-0, and they've come back to pull within 1, 5-4. The runners lead off first and second. First pitch fastball down the right field line into foul territory and back into the seats. Kind of the same thought that Thome had, is if he's going to throw me a first pitch fastball, and that's really all he's been throwing, I'm going to try to go after it.
Well, it's tough for him to catch up to the stuff now that he's not playing, too. You know, when he's playing, it's different. You're facing live pitching. You're more accustomed to big league speed. Right now he's not playing again. It's a really tough job.
0-1 the count. It's the first breaking pitch he's thrown to the last couple of hitters.
I don't know why they have Presley so deep in left field. I guess they just don't want to get beaten with a double. But this ballpark's so short in that area. But look how deep he is. You have a gimme tie game on a base hit to left field right now when you don't even have a fast runner at second.
That time is called.
You know that's a no doubles. Don't hit it over my head, and you understand. And it is to the pull side. I guess they don't worry about the tie game. They just don't want to get beaten with a double.
0-2 the count to Ruiz. Fights it off. Foul territory. Long run from McGee. And he makes the catch as he falls into the crowd. Did he hang on? He did. And that's the inning for the Phils on an outstanding play by Casey McGee, even to get to the spot. The Phils rolled the dice in this inning. They brought up their final 2 big bats off the bench. Jim Thome went down on strikes, and Casey McGee, well, he went down into the stands on a pop-up off the bat of Carlos Ruiz. of 20 or more are perfect for entertaining family, friends, or business associates. A variety of party areas to choose from. For more information, call 215-463-5000 and ask about pregame parties at Citizens Bank Park or check out Phillies.com. Carlos Ruiz remains in the ballgame to catch for the Phillies. Take over for Eric Kratz. And Jeremy Horst, who was just summoned from AAA today, where he pitched in 26 games, was 2-1 with a 2.11 ERA, had a couple saves, is on to face Michael McHenry, Jose Tabata, who came in as part of a double switch, and then the top of the order, Alex Presley, with the Phils down 1, 5-4. Horst had good numbers against right-handers. His left-handed numbers, the lefties hit okay against him. They hit better than righties did.
Well, they're going to face another bullet thrower in the 9th inning, just like Grilly. They're going to get Hanrahan. It throws even harder. So keep it to 1 run. Get this game tied up or win it. There he is. He's been very good for them.
Hanrahan finished off last night's ballgame. It was a non-save situation. It's 3-0 to McHenry. Well, the Phillies down 5-0 at one point. Scored 4 runs to make it a 1-run game, but they have left runners on first and second in each of the last 2 innings. 3 innings, I should say. There's a strike. Yeah, it's 3-1.
And the Pirates are down there kicking themselves, saying, how did we not add on in this game?
Well, they aren't the best offensive team.
Right. They hit the Phillies with that 5 spot, and then the pitching shut them down.
Ball 4, so McHenry's aboard. All right, sorry, Wheels, here you go. The Blue Claws starting lineup for tonight. Ryan Howard is batting cleanup, and he is the designated hitter. Kelly Dugan's in right field. He was the Phil's first selection a couple years ago. Game time 7:05. If you have nothing to do, it's going to be a nice night. Head on over to Lakewood. Take Route 70 from here in Philadelphia.
See your dad?
No, Dad won't be there tonight.
Oh, is that right?
No, Dad's away. He's due back tomorrow.
Oh, I bet he's upset that he's going to miss this one.
Oh, he's upset. Yeah, he's working Sunday. So he's hoping that Ryan sticks around for Sunday.
Is Tabata going to bunt?
Throw over, and McHenry is back without it before the tag.
McLavid just yelled at him. Come here.
They should have some good crowds at Lakewood tonight, you would expect.
They draw well anyway, right?
They do. Jeff Brown is the general manager. His staff does a great job. They got that usher behind home plate. That, make sure those seats are clean. Except for today and tomorrow.
Right.
Bunt in the air. Ruiz off with the mask, coming back, slides, and he can't get there. And I hope he's okay. Man, he slid into that sign hard. It's padded all around the signs.
Hold your breath.
He made a similar play. A ball hit a little higher and softer earlier in this series.
It's a really bad effort by Tabata to try and bunt here. Look at this. Technique is awful. And it's fouled back, and a great try there by Carlos Ruiz. Got to think they're going to take it off after that. Here's another look at it. Thank goodness he's all right, because that's why that play was so remarkable the other night. All the things he had to do to catch that ball. And then that catcher's missed, like catching a ball with a pillow.
Yeah, and he wasn't near the signs. It was the brick wall, but there's a lot of padding up around that brick wall.
Now, that time he didn't turn around, or whatever that was he did last time. A lot of times a manager will see that and he'll go, why even try? And that's what Clint Hurdle did.
Yeah.
He said, if I'm going to get that kind of effort, I may as well let him swing away and hope he doesn't hit it with double play.
Bunts toward first. Horst off the mound, and he tags Tabata.
Well, he did a really good job there. I mean, he got after it and tried to get it down that time.
Clint Hurdle talked during the his pregame session with the media about Tabata. He said, I watched a lot of tape of him in 2010, and I've seen him spark the club, but he just hasn't had that same spark this year.
Well, he's a tools player, and that's why he's attractive to have on a team, because he can do things. He just didn't like, I guess he just didn't like him hitting there, because you normally wouldn't bunt to put a runner in scoring position, a catcher especially, running and then go left with one out.
Presley came on to pinch run his back in the 7th inning, stayed in the game to play left field. And Horst delivers a strike.
Presley can really run. He can beat you sometimes a little nubber in the infield.
Pretty close with that last pitch. It's 1-1. Presley, a .230 hitter overall, 5 home runs. And he's ahead 2 balls and 1 strike.
Shading him as an opposite field hitter, and Pierre is really shallow in left field. How shallow the left fielder is. You see where Shane Victorino playing him around, giving him the alley in right center, figuring they're going to pitch him away and he won't pull it. Every pitch so far away.
Presley asked for time. Well, we mentioned this before. This is the spot where the Phillies have been in a number of times this year where, you know, they're down by a small amount. And late in the game, the other team has popped a couple of runs.
Yeah, and in this case, even one would be really big in this game. After they managed to shut them out all the way here to the 9th inning, and now within 1 run.
And the staff's done a good job. It was Kendrick after he got the 5 runs in the first to throw 6 scoreless. Then Brian Sanchez.
Look at them in 1-run games this year.
2-2 the count to Presley. Ball got a piece of Carlos, and it remains 2-2.
And he got a piece of Runge on the way back.
Bite on the slider. It's 3-2. Horst basically fastball, changeup, and slider. Scouting report says he has a good slider.
They haven't worked together, so a little confusion here, especially with the runner at second base.
Yeah, they hadn't worked together much in spring training either. That's where we saw Jeremy Horst, but it was just for a limited amount of time. I mentioned he was the guy the Phillies got in the deal for Wilson Valdez during the offseason. Valdez went to the Cincinnati Reds.
This looked more like he just couldn't get what Carlos Ruiz was calling, as opposed to, you know, he wasn't shaking out there. Although sometimes guys will just stare in to have him move along, but I think it was he just couldn't figure out what the sequence was or whatever they were using, whatever sign they're using.
Oh. Look at Horst's numbers over the course of his minor league career. His earned run average is below 3.
Well, he just threw a hanger here. May have been ball 4 too. Well, it's hard to tell, but Presley's eyes had to light up, because that's the one spot they do not want to pitch him with the defense set up the way it is, because he can pull that.
Outside, ball 4. So 2 walks in the inning by Horst. And that'll put first and second for Walker.
Good at bat.
He battled that. It was a 9-pitch at bat.
Walker's a switch hitter, more dangerous power wise from the left side. What you've just done, unfortunately, is if you don't get 2 somehow here, you're going to have to deal with McCutchen in this inning now with 2 walks. And no right-hander up.
Change up for a strike, 0-1. Horst's numbers against left-handed pitching. Or see Walker's numbers against left-handed pitching.
Right, his average is better, but no homers.
Laid on a fastball, and it's 0-2. Horst was born in Wyoming. He went to high school in North Dakota. And he played his college ball in Iowa. And now he lives in Wisconsin.
Bouncing around a little bit.
Yeah.
Likes the Midwest.
I say, I think he likes cold weather. He's been in the major leagues just one other time. It was with the Reds last year when he pitched in 12 games at an ERA of 2.93. The 0-2 pitch on the hands, a pop-up foul territory. Wigginton coming on, 2 outs.
See what a different swing Walker has right-handed. But that's only the second out, and now here comes their guy. Interesting too, because the pitcher spot is after that. You have, who's it going to be? Harrison.
Yeah.
Who's another right-handed hitter, but less dangerous. Normally you don't walk guys with first and second, but they may pitch around him or even walk him here. You certainly don't have to throw him. But technically, I mean, there still is a base open, so you don't have to challenge McCutchen.
And no right-hander up in the pen for the Phillies.
There you go. Throw him a breaking ball in the first pitch, something off speed. Do not have to throw him a fastball in the zone with that base open and Harrison on deck.
Phillies have a bullpen of left-handers aside from Schwimmer and Papelbon, but it's Horst against McCutchen. And he threw him like a fastball inside and low. Had a lot of cut to it.
Well, Carlos Ruiz is going to try and manage this. You can tell on the first 2 pitches that, you know, it's what he's thinking. What we're talking about is we don't have to face this guy right now. If they're not going to walk him intentionally, but we don't have to throw him a strike. There you go. And he's anxious. He's chasing right now. And they have not thrown him a strike yet. And they have 2 strikes on him. Just stick to this pattern. You have a chance.
So a crowd of 44,000 plus. Some have come to their feet with runners on first and second. The count 1-2 to McCutchen. Horst is ready. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Andrew McCutchen off balance the whole at bat.
And still hasn't thrown him a strike. And you know, I know Horst did a great job. Give Carlos Ruiz a lot of credit for walking him through that.
Well, now we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The top of the order is due up against Joel Hanrahan. Deliveries of the game, and there have been some deliveries throughout the course of the ball game. A lot for the Pirates occurred in the first inning. Casey McGee, well, he got things rolling after the Pirates had taken a 1-0 lead in an RBI single by Garrett Jones. That 3-run home run by McGee was followed by a solo shot from Pedro Alvarez. That's the only scoring right now for the Pirates. The Phil staff has shut them down since, and they've climbed to within one. They're down 1, 5-4. Jeremy Horst just worked out of a first and second jam in the top of the ninth inning by getting Andrew McCutcheon, the Pirates' best hitter. So now as we go to the bottom of the ninth, it's a 1-run game, and Joel Hanrahan is on to face Jimmy Rollins, Juan Pierre, Shane Victorino. Those are the scheduled hitters as we begin the bottom of the ninth inning. Rollins 2 for 13 lifetime against Hanrahan. Hanrahan finished off last night's ball game. It was not a save. And the first pitch fastball is taken for a strike. Oh, and 1 the count to Rollins. Back toward the middle, off the mound, a base hit, and the tying run is aboard. Talk about fighting off a tough pitch. He fought it off. He didn't hit it that hard.
Yeah, they were playing him to pull too, and once he shoots it up into that area, no chance. Good job by Jimmy.
So Pierre is up now.
Tom said fight it off. It's almost like a slider or a cutter or something that he does. He hits it right back up and hits the mound, but Walker was playing him to pull. A lot of room. Yeah, you bunt for a tie in the tie at home, especially with this guy.
And Pierre bunts it back toward the mound. It dies between the mound and home plate. Sacrifice is successful. That was almost a little bit more.
Well, he threw him 100-mile-an-hour fastball. McGee did a good job.
So the tying run is now at second.
He didn't take anything off this baby. Had some cheese going down there.
Arm speed is what that is. Wow. Phillies are due for some kind of break, aren't they? I mean, they had one to begin this homestand against the Rockies.
So you're looking for one to end it, huh?
Why not? Shane is 2 for 6 against Hanrahan.
Well, nice job execution there by Juan Pierre. He couldn't have had a better guy up to bunt a runner over in that situation.
Everybody's starting to get up on the railing there in the Phillies dugout. Victorino has 2 hits today, and he takes a fastball. Well, that's why he's been tough this year. He's only allowed 2 hits with a runner in scoring position.
Victorino's been known as a good fastball hitter throughout his career, and he just beat him with that one.
I don't know if it was that high, but McHenry, he's done that a couple of times in this series.
He's not that tall. And boy, did he jump.
Rollins gets his lead off second. Swing and a miss. He went after a slider out of the strike zone for the second out.
Here's Hunter Pence off Jason Grilli in the 8th inning. Got a breaking ball here. Got on the plate, and he hit it out of the ballpark.
And for that home run, for everyone the Phillies hit, One tree will be planted by the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society, Wheels, part of Home Runs for Trees. It's a partnership between the Phillies, PHS, and Aramark. Home Runs for Trees is part of Plant 1 Million, a project to restore the region's tree coverage. Go to Phillies.com/redgoesgreen for more info. And Rollins takes off to third. Hanrahan was paying him no minds. He stepped off at the last second, but by that point, Rollins was already 3/4 away to third. So now he could score the wild pitch, pass ball.
Well, he's watching Hanrahan, not paying any attention to him. He sees a third baseman just kind of, Alvarez kind of just looking around too, and that combination he runs.
Pence takes a fastball low.
You figure there's no way they're going to be able to step off and throw over there the way they were both just not even paying attention, and maybe balk, and then he got there and get there anyway.
Pence's numbers against Hanrahan. He has good numbers overall in his career against the Pirates. He saw them so often. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Well, he got a high fastball, 98 on the gun.
Can't hit that pitch. That's a pop-up pitch or a swing and a miss. It's just too high. Guy throws a 98.
Popped him up. Towering fly ball. Andrew McCutcheon is in, and the Pirates have taken the last 2 games of this series. The Phils down 5-0 to begin it, chipped away, climbed to within 1, but wound up leaving 7 base runners in the last 4 innings, and it just wasn't enough. The Pirates hang on and win it today by a final score of 5-4. So the Phillies finish up this homestand 5-5. They had some high expectations coming into the stand, but they do wind up going 500 against the Rockies, the Rays, and now the Pirates. And A.J. Burnett, he was fantastic today. He was comfortable today after getting a 5-0 lead.
Well, he pitched like a veteran who's a really good pitcher with a lead. They gave him a big lead early in the game, and he went out through a lot of fastballs early, and then started to mix them up a little more through quite a few more curveballs after that, a few change-ups, and struck out Chase Utley there as a pinch hitter, and got them to a point where they're confident their bullpen can hang on, and it did.
So the bullpen did hang on for the Pirates. The save for Joel Hanrahan, the win for the Bucks. They take it by 1. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.